Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
First, I'd like to give all praises unto Yahweh,
Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, HaKadosh,
and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, that taught us this word. Honors to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways, teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. Shalom to you brothers and sisters that did you check the chat? Shalom to you brothers and sisters out there listening and learning and supporting the truth, the gospel, the truth. And yeah, just something that we've spoken about before, but you know how we do. The gospel is repetitive, you know. I just wanted to go into a blasphemous statement, an evil ideology that's been brought about by the modern day Pharaoh, man. In fact, can you get me that where Moses said it was said Pharaoh would not let the Israelites go? All right, because Esau Edom is the modern day Pharaoh, and we're in Egypt all over again, and we've been serving with rigor in this man's society, man. All right, we've been building up this man's society and uplifting their nobles and uplifting their rich men through the works of our labors. All right, we're in captivity. You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, you are in captivity. Now that's gonna come as news to a lot of you, because you was told that you is free. Yeah, you is free now. That's what you were taught. That's the ideology that the majority of our people have in their mind, that at least I'm free now. No, you're just in another form of slavery. You're in another form of slavery because you're still serving another people. You're still subject to another people, which are the Edomites, man. And every day you work, you're really working for them. They take most of your money and they redistribute it how they see fit. Right?
With different taxes.
They make the laws and the legislations that you have to live by. And there's nothing you could do about it. You are in captivity, Jake. And the reason you don't know that you're in captivity is because you ain't never been free. Your mother ain't been free. Your father ain't been free. Your grandfather ain't been free. Your grandmother ain't been free. Your great-grandfather wasn't free. So you ain't been free for so many generations that you don't know what free is.
You just get told that you're not in chains anymore.
And you think that is free.
Yeah.
But you don't know what freedom is. You've never tasted freedom. You're like a prisoner that's been on 24-hour lockdown, and they give you an hour in the yard and you think you're free now because you can see the sun. Because you're allowed for 1 hour out the day to go and you know, and you could get a bit of fresh air and you think you is free. Well, but someone from the outside who's been free would be like, nah, we ain't free. They just giving us some extra liberties, which they can take away.
Yep.
Okay, go on, let's get some precepts on that. Okay, go on, get that as well. Get that.
This is the book of Baruch 3 and 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payment according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power.
Right, according to all the iniquity of our fathers, because we departed away from the true worship of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. We were given into the hand of our enemies, and we're what? Subject to payments. We're subject to give this man our money, give this man a portion of our labor.
Yep.
Right?
As I say, man, because you know, if you're not autonomous, you're not sovereign, you don't rule over yourselves as a people, you're not free. You're being ruled over by others. Again, confined to their laws, their ways of life. We get taught how we're supposed to live. What's right and what's wrong from them, you know? But we've got our own laws, our own statute commands, which we can't implement. We're not allowed to, you know, because we don't have the power or the freedom to do so.
You can't take your revenge.
Yep.
Yeah. Subject in the what you're in on the want of all things, man. Right? You got puppet leaders set up amongst you. Vassal states.
Yep.
Go on.
Yeah, I got this from Exodus chapter 5, start from verse 1, right? It said, afterwards Moses and Aaron went in and told Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord power of Israel, let my people go.
Right, that's what Moses is saying, because Israel, the 12 tribes were in captivity in Egypt. And what were the Egyptians doing? They had Jake working for the benefit and the profit of the Egyptians. That's what slavery does. You don't just put people in slavery for no reason. Slavery has an economic benefit to yourself. Otherwise, there's no point. Why would you put someone in slavery? Because you want to utilize their labor, and the labor that their productivity is going to benefit you more than it benefits them. And it is for that reason why the wealth gap between the so-called Negroes and the so-called white man, beginning with their elites, is growing. Because your labors, this society is designed that your labors increase them.
That's right.
It doesn't increase you.
Got another little preset here. Exodus chapter 1. It says, therefore, this is verse 11. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with burdens, and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses.
Right.
Not for our benefit.
Yeah, it's not your cities,
You know?
man. It's you're building up their kingdom and they rule over it. They own the real estate and all that. They're setting the rules and laws.
Yep.
Right? Now that goes global, because a lot of you might say, oh, what about, Jamaica? No, Jamaica's not independent. Jamaica's still owned and controlled by Edomites, man. They run and control that. That's why Jamaica is in the way that it is.
Commonwealth.
Right? They got all their agents all up in there. They got the IMF, the World Bank. They running that show.
Yep.
They run the Caribbean. That's there for them. They run South America. And what does it cause? A redistribution of wealth. To where though? Wealth doesn't disappear. If there's productivity going on, it's creating wealth. It's creating value. Where is that wealth and that value going to? It's being funneled to the Edomites. What did they say? Even during this recession, what did they say? The top rich are getting what? Richer. Why? Because the system is designed that way, for the wealth to be redistributed from the labor of who? The people.
Right, it says, let my people go, that they may hold a feast unto me in the wilderness. And Pharaoh said, who is the Lord, that I should obey his voice to let Israel go?
Right, and it's the same thing going on with Esau Edom today. Esau Edom don't want to let you, Jake, go. Esau Edom does not want to let you go. He doesn't want you to be free. That's why he don't tell you the truth. He doesn't want you to be sovereign. He doesn't want you to be your own people with your own power. Right? He wants you to be under him. And how do we know that? Because you might say, oh, well, no, Esau's changing and civil rights and, oh, really? Then why has their, Salakia, that bothering you?
Yeah.
Why has their elite been instituting a plan to microchip you and put you in the worst form of captivity that's ever existed on the face of the planet Earth? All this time they've been doing all this civil rights and talking about how much they love you. Meanwhile, they're building an infrastructure to have you microchipped, which is ultimately slavery.
Yeah, building you a physical and digital prison, man.
And that should show you their mind and their intention, that they don't want to let you go. They want to have you in captivity forever.
They keep finding new excuses, the reason why they're going in this direction. It's one thing after another right now. Plagues and pestilences are coming around the corner every damn time. Some issue, some problem that they need to resolve, right? So eventually that's where they're going to lead you to, man. And the excuse is, well, this is for your own good. It's for your protection, because we care. I mean, it's not. There's nothing to do with you, man. What they care about you, man. They don't care about you at all.
No. The thief cometh not but to kill and destroy it, man.
Yep. There's more, yeah. It says, let my people go, that they may hold a feast unto me in the wilderness. And Pharaoh said, who is the Lord, that I should obey his voice and let Israel go? I know not the Lord, neither will I let Israel go.
Yeah, that's it, man. And that's the same thing what's happening today. Esau don't want to let Jake go. That's why he don't really want us to learn about who we are.
Yep.
All right, and come back and worship the Lord. Esau wants us to worship him and bow down to him and serve him for all eternity. But it's not going to be like that. Right? Because the Yahweh Shai made a sacrifice, and that's what they don't teach you in these churches. See, the whole time, you Jakes have been looking to free. You thought that you'd receive freedom by Esau's hand. You were hoping on the good the good nature. I almost threw up like a little bit just now. You were hoping on the good nature of Esau That's why you're constantly begging him and you upset. Oh, Esau, please. You're begging this man to free you, to make you equal, to give you liberty. But what you don't understand is that Esau's not going to free you. Esau's not going to liberate you. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, he's our Redeemer and he's our Savior. That's what Yahushai is all about. Yahushai is the one that's going to come and deliver us out of the hand of the slave master. We're not going to deliver ourselves, and the slave master's not going to have a change in heart. His heart has not changed towards you, and that's what you're going to find out in a very short space of time.
A couple of precepts.
Go on.
Deuteronomy 26 verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way whereof I spake unto thee.
Is it 28 verse 68?
What did I say?
It's 26.
It's like it. 28 verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
Right.
No man shall deliver you or save you. Okay, that's what we were just saying, right? And just want to couple it up with this one.
Shall only be oppressed, that one. Oh.
No, not that one. No, I got another one, right? It says,
I think that's 45, isn't it? Deuteronomy 20 and 45.
right, so Esau's not going to be the one to understand us and have pity upon us and help us out and raise us to the level that we should be on. It's not going to be him.
Hey, which is why when they sold you that bag of bullshit through Christianity, did that actually free you, Jake? Did that actually liberate you? No. Because meanwhile, they were doing all this underhanded scumbaggery to keep you, Jake, oppressed and in your place. These same Christians that claim they love you when they were freeing you. Because it was never in their heart's mind, it was never in their heart to free you, Jake, or to have mercy on you, Jake. Yep. They always had it in their mind, we ain't never gonna let these people go.
That's why he pumped drugs into neighborhoods, why he did the medical apartheid, all the experiments and that going on.
The music industry, we could go on forever. Yeah. We could go on forever.
Yep.
All the different redlining, all the different covert and overt operations this man has done to keep you, Jake, oppressed and subjected. While at the same time proclaiming, well, a particular group of them, the left, proclaiming how much they love you and how much they want to free you. When you look at even in America, you look at the Democratic Party, what have they done for you so-called Negroes? They've had power. What have they done for you? No reparations to this day. No nothing.
Your boy Obama.
Your boy Obama, oh boy Obama. Didn't do a damn thing for you so-called Negroes.
Still crying.
Why? Because it was never their intention to do nothing for you.
You're looking for your saviors in the wrong place.
That's exactly what it is.
You know?
For these allies. You goofy ass Negro at work. Don't you think we need allies?
Yeah.
Fucking goofy. And it's them same Jakes that love homosexuals.
Yeah.
Oh, the same Jake told me the other day, oh well, I disagree. I think they're born that way. Then they're born for dead then. That's what I'm gonna say. Like, but that's bullshit. But a lot of you, Jake, now you've moved on from civil rights now because of now you're pro LGBT because Esau got you thinking that's the same cause. It's a madness.
I did some Luke chapter 4 verse 6. It said, "You were sold to the nations not for your destruction, but because you were moved the Most High to wrath, you were delivered unto the enemies."
Right, these people are our enemies, man. Do you know what an enemy is?
The opposite of a savior.
Hey, you know, I was watching, you know, the last fight with that Kambosos versus Haney. Technically, when you sign a contract, right, to fight in a boxing fight against another guy, that's your enemy now. He's your enemy. He wants to win.
Enemy combatant.
He wants to win. He wants to render you unconscious, even if that means you die. Man will not. That's the whole point. That's why they have to sign a clause in there that if you die in that ring, the other guy is exempt. You've signed your life away. You've signed that this man can win, right? And he ain't gonna hesitate. Like in the way it works. That's why they say in boxing, you gotta protect yourself at all times. Because the other fighter has no responsibility for your life. If he sees your chin is there or your temple is there, he ain't hesitating. Bam! He gonna just hit you. Now your lights go out and you don't wake up. That's not his business. Now, when the bell goes and the fight's over, he might feel remorse, but he's trained until that last bell and the ref calls off that fight. You and him are enemies. You and his team are enemies.
Fight to the bell.
So when I hear man's crying, saying, "Oh, they're trying to do this," what the hell you think? They're not your friends. They're gonna do anything in their power to try and make you lose.
Yep.
Because that's your fucking enemy, man. That's what an enemy does. An enemy is not gonna help you out. Oh, let me help this guy. Oh, fair play. No, the enemies don't deal with fair play. Enemy trying to defeat you, trying to bring you down, and that's Esau Edom, man. He's our enemy, and you, Jake, need to get that into your mind. This man, the Edomite, the seed of Esau, they are our most deadliest enemy. Point blank, period.
Yeah, I'm sure Barry was looking for it.
Never
And
trust that.
enemy. You know,
Yeah.
I'm sure Barry was looking for it, man.
Yeah, that's
I'm gonna let him bring that out, man. I'll bring this out after.
Oh,
So that's on the point.
this is the book of Salak or Ecclesiasticus.
This man separated your children from you, man.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how cold you have to be to do that? Could you imagine you go to I went over to this playground right now and just grabbed up one of these women's children and said that you ain't never gonna see them again. And just walked off, and the child's crying, the woman's crying. You gotta be a cold mother effer
Yeah.
to not feel no compassion and be like, yeah, you know what, man, let me not do that.
Everyone's
I ain't
guarding.
gotta do it like that. You know why Esau could do it like that? Because he hates you. When you hate someone, compassion goes out the window. You know when you see Gore.com and you see a man getting 50 bullets in his face, you know why the bread can put 50 bullets in their face? Even when man's crying and begging for mercy, because he hates them. When you hate someone and the hatred is strong, you don't care how man's crying and bleeding.
Yep.
You murk a man and then laugh about it later with your friends.
What's that Star Wars thing? That fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering.
Yeah, you're suffering.
You know? But you gotta have a different type of spirit when you do something like that, man.
It's hate.
It's gotta be pure hatred.
That's
man.
the hatred of an enemy. A friend ain't gonna do that.
And Esau hates us, man, for real, for real. You know, he is our top enemy.
We find out. Go on.
This is the book of Genesis 27 and 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him.
And our blessing is powerful
Yep.
because Esau believes in the spiritual, but he's trying to find some
Way around
loopholes in the spiritual. That's why he be studying all the sciences. He's a man of science. When I say science, I ain't talking about the atoms. I'm talking about he's trying to study all the numerologies and he's trying to find a way to go overturn the power of the Lord. But ultimately, Esau knows the power in the blessing that we receive. It's very powerful. And Esau, the elites, they know and they hate us for it, man. Because they want it. They want it back. That's what this whole New World Order is all about. New World Order is all about. We know, the elites know, but you, average Jake, and even the average Edomites don't know. They don't understand the blessing.
Yeah, this is the battle of planet Earth right now. You know?
And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob.
Right, why did he want to kill Jacob? He's thinking, if I kill Jacob, then the blessing will come to me.
Yeah, he can't receive that blessing. That'll be the only one left.
Yeah.
It's like the Highlander, there could be only
There could
one.
be one.
Yeah, that's what he's thinking. That's
He's
his mentality.
murderous. And
Yep.
he's had that, and he's gonna come with that same murderous intent again against you Jakes, and he's gonna be merciless with it. And a lot of you Jakes are gonna be surprised because you didn't think Esau had it in him. You thought it, because you see, you've been programmed to think that that's just a specific type of Edomite somewhere with a KKK. And that's why I don't buy into all that. Ain't no such thing as KKK. All these Edomites are potential mass murderers when it comes to Jake.
Yeah, taking some of these children. go to churches and blowing people away, man.
The KKK was just one organization of Edomites, man. But Biden, you think when he came up with the crime bill, he didn't have hate in his heart? But he be kissing all the babies, all the black babies. You think he nice? You gonna find out different.
So I mean, if you saw, I mean, the video about the IURC in Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Buffalo. The people come against them and say like, I mean, the women and stuff like that. They were saying like, I mean, the this man's they tell us to hate you white people.
Yeah.
So they were trying, to
They got upset with that. Yeah. That we're not meant to hate Esau. We are meant to hate Esau, man. We're at variance with one another, man. It's from the womb. You know?
Well, if we don't hate Esau, who the hell are we meant to hate? If this man's not worthy of our hate, then who or what is?
Hey, but this is why this whole bullshit Christianity doctrine, you're not meant to hate no one. You're meant to love everything, man.
But then
it
Esau
takes your mind off to what you're supposed to be doing.
But Esau can hate
Yeah.
and do what he want and bomb people and do all kind of craziness, and that's cool. Get out of here, man. That's why we ain't listening no more, man. We hate who the hell. Listen, we hate who we want to hate, man. How the hell you gonna police an emotion, man? Get the fuck out of here, man. What's wrong with these people, man? Go on now.
It's a book
Hate
of
crime.
Ecclesiasticus 12:10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron lasteth, so is his weakness.
Right, you can't trust. Yeah, go on.
I was
Now.
gonna say, man, because Esau has been set out to be our enemy from the beginning. Right? That situation has never changed, man. Right? One should rule over the other. There's always gonna be a fight going on. The Lord speaks about we should have war with Amalek for generation to generation. We are enemies in the truest form. Right? And until this is resolved, until Esau's put down, okay, this is how it's gonna be.
Yeah, you Jake are moving like Ortiz, man. Remember when Ortiz in the middle of the fight, trying to touch gloves, and then Mayweather fucking knocked him out, man. That's you, stupid, simple-minded ass Jake. Cotto had to school him up.
One time.
Touch. One time. You in a war. You there trying to touch him.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. We sorry for it, man. That's you Jakes, man. Unbelievable. But when it comes to your own people, though, you ready to go
Merciless.
all out. Beat Jake down and put 5 shots in his chest, you know? Mad thing. Go on,
Pharmacy.
in the pharmacy, yeah.
So is his weakness. Though he humble himself and he go crouching,
Right, Esau know how to pretend. Esau know how to put on a mask.
Yep.
He know how to do that. The British were the best at that. They were elite when it came to pretending. That's why they had the whole thing of speaking a certain way and fair play
Yeah,
and
yeah,
all
yeah,
that, you know. Meanwhile, they were the devil. They weren't nobody more wicked than the East India Company. And the East India Company still exists. That's the Rothschilds. All these corporations are basically subsidiaries of the East India Company. And the East India Company was as ruthless as they come. But they were all upstanding, proper Christian men of
Integrity.
of integrity,
And truth.
and they were flipping slaughtering people for money.
Yep.
The East India Company, they were drug dealers. The East India was behind the Chinese Opium Wars. These are the people we're dealing with. The scripture says, marvel not if Satan himself be transformed into an angel of light. So these devils know how to put on a mask.
Yep.
They know how to act like they like you. We know because we grew up among these devils, man.
Well, my dad always told me stories, man. Because my dad, you know, that generation was like the first people to move into the area, right? And they were racist as hell, right? But as soon as an Edomite gets knocked out, they want to respect you.
All of a sudden they
And
got
then they
your
want to be your
friend.
friend.
But then behind your back, yeah, that black
Yeah,
here,
that
da, da, da.
fucking, you know what I mean? So they pretend because, hey, Esau's a pussy at the end of the day, right? So he gonna do all that pretending. He gonna do the behind the back shit.
And he's a
You know?
serpent.
Mm.
Hey, it's worked out perfectly because it lulls you, Jake, to sleep. Your
Yep.
guard is down.
Yep.
Your guard is down. You about to be chipped, and you're gonna want to be chipped. It's like,
Yeah,
God
yeah,
damn,
yeah.
these niggas.
Yeah.
You gonna,
Please.
These niggas gonna line. You gonna line up to go into slavery.
Yep.
Why? Because Esau's lulled you into sleep.
It's more subtle than any beast of the
What they
field.
call it? The Trojan horse, the gift.
Yeah, yeah.
The Greek,
Destroy the heart.
the Greek horse.
Yeah.
Give it all, you know.
Yep.
Man told man, nah, I don't trust this. These men are the enemy. Nah, we'll take the gift.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
happened? True stories.
But you know, because the scripture also speaks about kind of leopard change spots,
Mm.
right? And we know that's not the case, right? So we know Esau is the same devil. He just put on that facade, man. He act like your friend. He act like he's trying to help you, and that's exactly what the scriptures say. You know, and Esau knows.
Yet still, you had the Tuskegee experiment. You got. Come on, man.
Yep.
though he humble himself and he go crouching, Yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass.
Hey, you should always be on your toes with Esau, man. Always be cautious when it comes to Esau.
Scrutinizing.
Don't get into that false sense of security with him, man. Like, you question that devil. You know what I'm saying? Question that devil.
Hey,
man.
but you know, a con man, the word con man comes from confidence.
Yep.
Because what a con man is good at is getting you to be confident in him, to get your trust, and they're willing to lose to get your trust.
Yep.
That's how the scam works. You give them your money, they'll bring you back some money.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're like, okay, wow, this works. And then you give them some more money, and then they'll bring you back some more money. And then they hit you with the big one, and then they don't come back. The money's gone. That's the whole thing. And the con man ain't gonna come to you looking shady.
Yeah.
They're gonna come dressed and looking the part, like all these crackers that they were doing a thing in the UK. They would go to a granny's house and they'd be like, oh, well, you own your house? So, okay, you know what we could do for you is, and they sit the granny down, they know the granny ain't really got no one. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, well, you could sell us the house and we'll rent the house back to you and you'll get all this money and blah, blah, blah. And then the granny sign up the thing and the house is gone. And it weren't Jake doing that, these were Edomites doing that to other Edomites, man. But obviously when they knock on the door, they're gonna be speaking that proper. If they knocked on the door looking like a hoodlum, granny wouldn't even open up the door. Like, what the fuck are this dude doing that? So that's how these devils are, man. That angel of light, they're gonna come to you looking a certain way, speaking a certain way. That's why they did the whole political correctness thing. Oh, no, you can't call them niggers no more. Oh, that's appalling. That's appalling. I would never use the word nigger. You know what I'm saying?
In public.
That's how these, and then so Jake feel like, wow, these devils really changed. They really on our side because they don't use the word nigger in publicly anymore. That's just all a ruse to gain your confidence so you could trust them.
Yeah. That's right.
But if you know the nature of the beast, a sheep should never trust no fucking lion, man.
Oh, that's another thing as well. A con man don't feel bad.
No.
Con man don't feel bad what he did. He happy he done what he did. He no remorse in him, man.
remorse.
No
Take
remorse.
that money
And
and
they
guard.
say Esau don't really care. He act like he cared. Oh, it's so bad. Esau don't care.
You know how many grannies are, listen.
Yeah.
No, them scammer them. That's the main ones that get scammed.
Man don't even care.
Over
Man ain't
60s.
even got empathy. Like, if it was your granny, man don't even care about none of that, man.
Running to the back, man, driving a Rari.
And thou shalt know that his lust has not been altogether wiped away.
That's right. You know, everything is superficial to us, man. What we see is what he puts on. The makeup he puts on, man, to deceive you, man. But underneath it, yeah, you got horns, you got a tail. No, I'm joking.
Right, that's why the scriptures say about the snare. Yeah, get that in Psalm 64. It says that in Psalm 64. But before we read Psalm 64, real quick, let's go back to Deuteronomy 28 and 45. And then we're going to go that snare. See, Esau has been setting up a snare, which is that mark of the beast system. He's been setting up this snare. He's been building it in front of everyone's eyes.
Yep.
But no one, unless you really paying attention and you really be putting 2 and 2 together, you don't see what's going on. You're too busy being entertained by Love Island and the rapper beefs. You don't see how all these different systems are gonna line up together to create a captivity that's worse than you could ever have imagined.
Perfect prison.
You know what I'm saying?
You need this now?
While you're abusing yourself with liberty, they're preparing your captivity. Go on, I'll read that.
This is Deuteronomy 28, verse 45. Slug it. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee till thou be destroyed. Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign, and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Because thou servest not the Lord thy power with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in the want of all things.
That's right. And that's how Esau really want you, man. Esau wants you dependent on him for everything, man.
Dependent on the system.
Just like how a hardcore... See, when you go back into chattel slavery, you dependent on the master for everything.
Mhm.
They provided your clothing, they provided your food, they provided your woman. You know what I'm saying? They provided everything and you worked. Now in this society, they're still providing you everything, just that they give you a little wage and then you pay for everything
Yourself.
from them
Yeah.
out of that little wage that they give you. And they take most of that out, you know, take a lot of that out with taxes. When you add up all the taxes, the stealth, what they call stealth tax, because you got the income tax, then you got the stealth taxes. VATs and like petrol has got tax on it, and every blood clot thing they put a tax on. When you add it up to, it's about 80%. It's madness. People used to chop off heads in the Middle Ages over like 30% tax. Now it's paying like 80. That's why they had to do stealth tax, so to hide it. You know what I'm saying? So you know, Esau's taxing you, and so you think you're free, but you're not. But they want to go back to that chattel slavery where they own everything, you own nothing, you have no privacy, which they say that the WEF, the World Economic Forum, stated that in 2030, it's 2030, you own nothing and have no privacy, and you will enjoy it. That's not me. I didn't say that. That's what the World Economic, that's what the Klaus Schwab and the rest of them Bond villains, Edomites, that's what they said. Now translate that into, what does it mean? When someone's telling you you will own nothing, what does that mean? That means they're going to create a situation where they're completely going to destroy the ideology of so-called private property. You're going to have to go to your master for the want of all things. You're going to have no privacy, meaning they're going to be looking on you like you're God. Because the only one you ain't got privacy from is the Most High. Now they're saying, no, you ain't got no discretion. You know what that represents? Cameras everywhere, monitoring your bodily functions, so they know when you're having sex. Oh, his heart rate is elevated. He's having sex.
Listening to you.
Yeah, listening to you.
Yeah. And even them, man, they want to know all your brain thoughts, man.
Your brain,
You know?
measuring your brain waves, so they know everything about you, what you're doing. So they can control that. They can control how much you sleep, how much you eat, how many times you get to stroke your wife, if you get to stroke your wife, if you could get pregnant, they want to control that. Now, you telling me that's not slavery? That's hardcore slavery.
Just digitized. you know? 21st century slavery.
20.
You know?
Yeah.
Metaverse settings.
Mad thing. This is what he's openly saying he wants to do with you, Jake, man.
Because the problem that Esau had before, when he has in chains, right? If he gave us liberty now, there's a problem here, because most Jake will want to get revenge.
There's a risk, yeah.
You know, they want to get revenge, right? So Esau's let us go, but gave us this dream, this world for us to chase after, right? But he's finding another way to imprison us, man. The one that we can't easily rebel from.
A snare.
You know, that's it. Because if he's controlling all aspects of your life, including you as a person, a man, to move and to do shit, how can you rebel? He can just switch you off, man. You know? And that'll be the end. Ain't no more rebellion. He just turn you off.
And when you go into Aldous Huxley, that's how you pronounce it, Aldous Huxley, and the speech he gave at Berkeley, he broke down years ago how they were going to use chemicals, chemicals to basically pacify you. So that's another thing that they're going to do. They're going to give people drugs that's going to make them pacified and happy. Like there's a Brave New World. Go watch that. There's an old one. It's about 4 hours long. It's called Brave New World, and then there's the new version they made, which I never watched that. And basically in that program, in the future, you've got different levels of humans down to the gammas. Gammas are like genetically modified humans, and they're modified to work around the nuclear shit, and they're small like Oompa Loompas and that. And then they arrange society in classes. And no one has a wife or a husband. You just sleep with whoever you want. And everyone takes this drug called Soma. And the Soma kind of keeps you in this like melancholy state of you're not sad, but you're not happy. You're just, you know? And it made them easy to control.
Now in a dystopian type world, man, hey, people do this now, right? They take drugs to make themselves feel better, right? So you imagine how bad the world is going to be. These people are going to be on all these drugs to operate in the world and not feel so bad, man.
But they said, and you'll be happy.
Yeah, you know, that's the way. You be on drugs 24/7, man.
Yeah, Esau is a real devil. That's why we call this man the devil, man. Wait, have you got what was you holding?
You asked me between 28, 45. I think you finished with that.
Yeah, we're finished with that. There was another part.
And I also had never trust our enemy in it.
I mean, we could leave it on that. Yeah, go on. Yeah. So that's all part of the Esau's plan. Is a lot more than just chipping you, but that's the centerpiece of the enslavement. Because once they have you chipped, it's not going to be just one chip. When you go into the writings, they're going to be putting chips all over your body to monitor this and monitor that, and then they're going to you'll be able to administer you drugs directly into your body through these biochips. Like how they had the implant, you know, the implant, and then the implant administers the birth control intermittently.
Or it's like the nanotechnology that they got. They don't talk about, you know, administering certain medications and stuff like that, man, to you know, do whatever, man.
Fucking
So
devilry.
he's still got plans beyond you taking that initial MOTB.
Yeah.
He got plans, man. You know,
Scary.
he ain't gonna get them. He ain't gonna get that far.
Black Mirror type shit. Go on, yeah.
So we finished with the other one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go on. You asked for 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go on. I got quick. This is Ezekiel 28 and 2 and 1. The word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord power, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am Most High, I sit in the seat of Most High, in the midst of the seas.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, so these guys think, like, basically, because they're amassing all of this science, this knowledge on all these different levels, they got all the numerologies and the frequencies, and them man are dealing with all that science, because they deal with that. They deal with all these things, right? They think, oh, we've mastered this knowledge now, we can use it to become like gods on the earth. And that's a common theme. That's a common theme in a lot of games, a lot of movies, and that's real. That's exactly what's actually happening.
The agendas, of the minds of these men.
And they'll do it by any means necessary. Like even when you watch Tomb Raider and that, and there'll be same thing. There's a secret group of crackers going through all these tombs trying to get this ancient knowledge to do. That's Esau doing all that. Why do you think they were doing that? They are the original Indiana Jones. Why do you think they were digging up all them what do you think archaeology is all about? All that money that they were spending to dig up bones, because they were looking for ancient knowledge, man, to achieve their goals and their ends. That's real. We're dealing with some high level witches, warlocks, alchemists, numerologists, everything. It just everything is just, and they think that they're amassing all this knowledge that's making them as the mind of God, because we know our God knows all of that imperfection. The Most High done mastered, he created it all. He created all the numerologies and all this stuff.
Knowledge of good and evil.
Yeah.
The Lord put it there.
The Lord is the one that he's the master. What can we say? But they think, oh yeah, we can learn this and learn that, and through their own knowledge they can become as gods. No, brother, you ain't on the level yet. You still got your mother color, blood. What are you dealing with, man?
And thou hast said, I am Most High, I sit in the seat of Most High, in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man, and not Most High, though thou set thine heart as the heart of Most High.
Right, because they think that they can set forth their imagination and manifest it according to their own will. But ultimately, we're men. And our will, the will of a man can only go so far. That's why the scripture says the counsel of the heathen shall be cast headlong. Only the Most High has the power to manifest his will in perfection. And there's no one can add to it or take away from it. That is the Most High. That's what separates the Most High from all others. Whatever his will is, that's what it's going to be.
Total control.
But Esau think that they going to do this witchcraft and do this ritual, and they going to manifest. Fuck out of here, man.
Yeah, they think they're going to circumvent the Lord's power. You know, but only a fool would believe that. But
And-
Esau thinks he's wise and smart, you know.
And you see the Jubilee that just happened, they were working mad witchcraft right in front of you. The Queen was dealing with all these orbs and
Orbs,
orbs everywhere, fucking Ouroboros and all kind of thing, and the Tree of Lives and all that. What the fuck is this? I'm watching this shit like, hold on, is anyone else seeing this shit? This is got the most occultic shit I've ever seen in a long while. Black swans flying through the sky and all kind of mad shit, man. You can only imagine the rituals they were doing behind closed doors, because the closer it gets to their enterprise, the more rituals they're gonna do, because the rituals in their philosophy is how you get the power to manifest
Power to go
the
forward.
power to you know, to bring things to life, and blood is the biggest currency, so they're gonna spill a lot of blood to try and bring in that new world order, man. A lot of you Jake's blood. Going up. Hey boy, we're dealing with some real demons, man, in real life. Where you at? 64, yeah, Psalm 64, real quick.
It's the book of Psalm 64 from the top. Hear my voice, O Most High, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy.
Right, from the fear of the enemy, because this guy is a real and present enemy. This man wants your life. He wants to subjugate you. He'll take your life too. That's the reality, man. You can't sleep on this man, Esau Edom. Well, we have the Lord that's with us. That's why we got to pray to the Lord, and then the Lord will protect us from this man. Go on, huh?
Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked.
The secret counsel of the wicked is talking about these elites and these secret counsels that they have, and then they filter out parts of it to the public, and they speak in code. You know, like you gotta read in between the lines. They ain't gonna come out and oh yeah, we just had the meeting and basically all you fuckers we're gonna put you in slavery. They're not gonna say it like that.
Like, why would they?
They're gonna say it in these, like for instance, when you read the Agenda 2030, they'll talk about things like, oh, we need to balance the production, and then really understand what they're saying. They're gonna reduce the production down and streamline the economy. Now, that translated means instead of having 1 million pairs of shoes, like what you do now, maybe we only make about 10 different pairs of shoes. Instead of producing 1 million, maybe we reduce the population and produce less. That's the translation of what they're saying, and that's what they're doing right now. They're destroying the world. If you notice, they're destroying the world's productive capabilities. And what's that doing? Where you might have had like 20 companies that could afford to be in the market, now it's getting smaller and smaller to the point where you're only going to end up with a few companies that's doing everything. And they're just going to be, you're going to go to the store and you're going to look for all this variety. There ain't going to be no variety. Your choice is going to be reduced. That's what 2030 is all about. But they're going to write it in such a way. That's why the scripture says, whose tongue you shall not understand, because the way Esau speaks is forked. You got to interpret it. He don't speak straight, so he could be telling you, listen, I'm gonna kill you deader than a doornail, and it will sound different. I swear down, that's how them politicians talk. You go, oh, what the hell does this bill mean? And then when you really break it down, he's gonna kill you.
You put your blood down, it's going to be too late as well.
I'm telling you wear it out. Yeah, Esau's good with the language, twisting language and making it sound a certain way, when in reality, how it's really going to be done. That's what a lot of people say is like, if you read the bill, but you got bill's open to interpretation. Yeah, because they got their interpretation of it. They're already set up that they're going to use it for.
And they won't come out and tell you what the interpretation is.
Nah.
They let you discuss about it themselves, man. Like, yeah, you figure it out. You know?
This dude's the devil, man. Oh, we're gonna encourage equality of this and that's just code words for bring everything down.
Yeah. Go balance the books.
It don't mean bring you up, it means bring everybody down to your level. Go on up.
It's the book of Psalm 56 and the 55 and 21. The word of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war is in his heart.
That's how Esau roll. It's how these politicians roll. They know that they have plans for you, Jake, to depopulate you, Jake, and they'll be coming up with all these policies, and they be smoothing it out. But Joe Biden, man, they sold that crime bill like it was something they were trying to help the community. Meanwhile, they knew the crime bill was all designed to destroy the so-called black community and put a certain amount of black men in jail, which is a revolving door of madness.
Yep.
That whole jail system does not work. Whatever they say it's designed to do, it don't do. But you notice that's the only. They're not trying to fix it. They don't. They just build more prisons. But honestly speaking, does the penitentiary, right, reform Negroes? No. If a Negro goes into jail, he has to become, not even you have to become 10 times the demon you were before you went in there.
But no more choices.
It's demonic. A very small percentage of, and they even know that statistically, there's a time frame. They like, yeah, within 30 days he's gonna be back, or something like that. There's some kind of statistic when you're the reoffending. You reoffend. They set it up like that. You had the whole thing with the firefighters. You had the Jake that they taught them how to firefight in LA, and they had them working with the firefighters when they were in jail. So you'd think, being a wise man, you're like, okay, well, these Jake, they want to change their lives. We have a fire problem. Okay. Tell you what, when you come out of jail, we're gonna put you in a job and help you so we can rebalance your life and you can become a more productive member of society. You ain't got to go back to gang banging and slanging. You could go and do this. It's more better for us to put the money into that than you reoffending and us having to
put you back here.
Nah. You got a previous record. You can't join the fire department. So you already know, like Jake already, his heart, he's gonna countenance is gonna be low, and he's back in the hood. And Pookie calls him up, and Pookie's like, "Yo, you wanna go out?" And he rolling with Pookie now, and Pookie's like, "You got money, dog?" He's like, "I ain't got shit, man." He's like, "Yo, I got a job for you." Next thing you know, man's putting in work. He's on the corner again, and he's back in the slammer. But that's what Esau wants. That's why the Bible says, "Woe unto him that giveth strong drink unto his neighbor, that he could look upon his nakedness." That's what Esau wants, man, to destroy Jake. But he did all of that with a smile. And these niggas loved him. They loved Bill Clinton, right? And they loved Joe Biden back then. They went as far as to say that Bill Clinton was black. I remember that shit, man. They said that Bill Clinton was a so-called black. How that work?
Joe Biden, when he came in,
oh yeah, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black.
Yeah.
What the
I got something to read.
Go ahead.
You got more?
Yeah. What the fuck is going on? This is insane. This is insane. This is insanity.
His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
That's right.
So it was an ulterior motive with Esau. Always, man.
Evil.
That's why you gotta be aware. You gotta be on your toes with him, man. You gotta kind of like suss out this dude.
Hey, sometimes you catch bees with honey, man. That's what they say, right?
Yeah.
You easier catch a bee with honey than vinegar. When you set a trap for a rat, you put cheese in there. The rat thinks, ooh. Smell that? That's that good quality government cheese right there. Then that thing come down on you. Wham! Yeah? And that,
snap your back in too, like.
Yeah, you lied. Why? Yeah, go on, man.
Too late.
Hey, that's what we're trying to tell you, man.
This is from Ezekiel 35 verse 5. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end.
Right, what does he mean by that? Because ultimately, again, the Bible tells you the rod of the wicked shall not rest upon the lot of the righteous, lest the righteous put forth their hand to iniquity. Because if we had not transgressed against the Heavenly Father, Esau couldn't do nothing with us, man. Because when the Lord's with us, the Lord fights our battles, man. It tells you in Deuteronomy 28 that they shall come one way and flee 7 ways. You know what that means? Them dudes has lost their minds and they running for their life. They ain't no organization no more.
Yeah.
Man, and one man I run this
man's distressed.
distressed, man. They were running in our direction, hopping fences and hiding in trees. Yeah, when the Spirit of the Lord is with us, right? The reason why Esau was able to take down the Native American Indians, even though we're superior to him in the art of war, in all forms of war. Cause when them natives had the guns, they were sharpshooters with the guns too. But the Lord weren't with us, man. And when you read a lot of the stories about the Native American Indians, a big way the Lord took us down was through the leadership. The Lord put a docile and sleepy spirit on our leadership. You had men like Sitting Bull that were, certain men were real riders. They were like, yo, scout them, you know what I mean? To bomb, you know what I mean? And then the other guys were like, no, we want peace with the white man. You know, them ones there. And then them same man ended up getting slaughtered up. But if they'd have come together as one and said, yo, them man would have got wiped out. So the Lord had to come in amongst the leaders and put a docile, faggoty spirit on some real warriors, man. And that's one of the reasons how Esau was able to conquer our brother Gad. Because our brother Gad, when it comes to warfare, they always been bad boys, man.
Mighty men of war, yeah.
Mighty men of war, brave. The bravery counts for a lot in warfare. The confidence to step to a man. But hey, you read this, you know, you could get the book, Bury My Heart, Wounded Knee. It tells you a lot of the accounts. A lot of them chiefs were goofy, man. And by the time they woke up to the white man, it was too fucking late. They were getting their throat cut. And then Sitting Bull's like, see, I told you you should trust in these crackers, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but the reason why they were able to get the upper hand over Gad is because Gad wasn't keeping the laws perfectly, man. Same thing with all the other tribes. Okay? Yeah, go on.
It's the book of Isaiah 42 and 24. Who gave Jacob for a spoil and Israel to the lovers?
Most I did.
Yep.
Did not the Lord?
Yep.
He against whom we have sinned, for they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient unto his law.
Right. So that's why we're telling our people, the scripture says, cry aloud, spare not, show my people their transgressions. But at the same time, we teach Yahushua. Why? Because Yahushua came to save his people.
Yep.
Yeah, because these goofy guys trying to take the word his out now. He came to save the people. No, he came to save his people from their sins.
Yeah.
Yeah? The Lord came to forgive us of our sins so we could come from under the punishment. And being under the punishment is under your hand.
Yep.
You devils, man.
Therefore he has poured upon him the fuel of his hunger and the strength of battle, and it has set him on fire round about, yet he knew not, and it burned him, yet he laid it not to heart.
Right, but now we are. Now we're okay, now we understand. And we're trying to spread that understanding, man. That's why it's important to know who you are. Know Jacob, know Esau. Because then you have a perfect understanding of the events which are happening around you.
Yep.
Esau society is designed to keep you in a confused state. Because the individual who's confused cannot make proper decisions.
That's right.
When you're in a confused state, you cannot make, you cannot make proper decisions, therefore you cannot be constructive. You cannot be a constructive individual and a productive individual in a confused state. And that's why Jake ain't productive or constructive in any way. Because they're confused.
Like what's like one of the most key parts of like warfare in the military type of sense, man? It's intel, man. You're trying to get as much intel as you can to know how to attack your enemy, or how to deal with your enemy.
And what do? You try and confuse the enemy.
Yeah, that's it. You know? But they say knowledge is power, right? But you ain't got no knowledge. You know what I'm saying? That's why you ain't got no power. You're not understanding things, you know?
You're fighting against yourself.
Yep.
It's crazy, man. But that's all coming to an end anyway, because the Lord's gathering together is an elect, man. That great camp.
Yep. Back in Ezekiel 35, verse 6, it says, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. So if thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee.
Right, we're not going to hide behind that. What the bomb? Listen, these men want us to come out here and talk niceties, man. This ain't nice,
You
man.
ain't been nice.
You ain't-
You
listen.
ain't been nice.
The prophecies we gotta bring out concerning Esau and Edom is not no niceties. Esau, there's gonna be a lot of Esau's blood draining in the earth, man. Now we're not gonna do that now, but we're telling you what the Lord has prescribed.
Yep.
When the judgment comes upon Esau, it's not gonna be like watching an episode of Sergeant Bilko. It's not gonna be like watching an episode of Friends. It's gonna be disturbing. It's gonna be like watching one of them gore.com or something. It's not gonna be nice, man, because the Lord demands blood. And it ain't talking about when you go to you go down to the NHS and then man sit you down on the table and rub your shoulder. Are you okay, sir? Are you okay? And then they get the thing and like you're donating blood. Oh, you're gonna feel a slight prick. We're talking about man's gonna be getting chopped up with lasses, man, like Hotel Rwanda, shooting dogs, sessions going on, man.
Quick reset on that.
Yeah, go on now.
Genesis chapter 9 verse 6.
So shit.
Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of God made he man. Right? And you shed the most precious of all blood on the earth.
Purist.
The Most High's children. You don't think that the Most High deals with equality in this sense, right? You gotta make sure that you spill your own blood is spilled to pay for that.
Now they'll say it's hate speech, but when Bin Laden's blood was spilled, you man were
happy.
celebrating in the streets.
Yeah.
You hypocrites
Yeah.
were celebrating. You Christians were celebrating. Oh yeah, Bin Laden, yeah, we got him. Obama got him. Nah, well, guess what? Esau, you gonna get got the same way Bin Laden got got.
Yep. And we gonna be happy.
And we're gonna be happy, man. And I was thinking about that the other day, man. The duality of things. When you get the enemy, it's sweet, man. Celebrate it, man.
Yep.
Man's write songs about it, and then get arrested. Man, it's so sweet, man. Can't help it.
And man, the song like Goliath when Goliath was slew, they was getting all the praise, man.
Hey, that's why they got
my head off.
the Jake down here in the UK. I know they do it. They do it everywhere. When Jake get the ops, yeah, and Jake deal with the ops away, they go drinking, they celebrate, they be laughing. A lot of times Jake be videotaping it. Jake will videotape the ops getting blasted, and they'll go back and laugh and show man, hey, look, guy, look at his head, and laugh because to them that was the enemy.
Yep.
When someone's your enemy, you'd be surprised, man. They don't react the same way. Now, if that was their friend, you're gonna be in mourning.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, look at it. Oh my God, look at his brains coming out. But when when you're on the other side, you dancing, you singing. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, man's putting it in a lyric and laughing about it. That's the duality of war. One side is mourning, and the other side is celebrating. That's how it's always been.
Reset.
So when Esau, when the saints are washing their feet in the blood of the enemies, the scripture says we're gonna rejoice. We're not gonna be mourning. You're gonna be mourning because your dad's brains bust way on the floor. We're not gonna be mourning. We're gonna be, oh, look at that one there.
Yeah.
Look how man eyeball pop out. Yeah? And laughing just like that. And it's gonna sweet, man. It's gonna sweet, man. It's gonna feel sweet.
Nice.
Man ain't gonna feel bad about it. Man ain't gonna sleep good. Man are gonna be happy. That's the duality of war. When you get the enemy, it feels good. It does.
You bring retribution to man.
Hey, I was thinking about that, man. You're thinking like, how can man celebrate? You're like, you know what? When a man's your ops and you get man, it ain't gonna make you feel bad about it, man. You feel good. Especially if man blasted one of your friends. You know what I'm saying? When you get the revenge, it's true. Revenge is sweet, man. And we're gonna get revenge on Esau. It's not gonna be a nice for them, but it's gonna be sweet to us.
Quick preset.
You're not.
It's the Sirach, chapter 25, verse 7. So there be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that have joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemies.
Happiness, man. Sweetness. And they want us to omit that from the gospel. That's part of the good news, man.
That's right.
And we're gonna bring it out. And when that time comes, we're not gonna shun to celebrate. You know, when Yahushua deliver these devils into our hands, man, we're gonna be laughing and joking. You're gonna be mourning. we're not going to be mourning. Our mourning is going to be over.
The Lord gonna be laughing. Most I'm gonna be laughing at your
And our
demise, man.
forefathers had that spirit. That's why they were singing songs. But
Yeah.
look, read the scriptures. David, hey, David and them man were busting the Harlem Shake back then. When they after what do you think David and them man were doing? Playing get touch butt. Them man were chopping man up, blood. It was some gruesome. David killed Goliath, bust his head
head
top,
off, yeah.
and then bust off his head with his own sword. Was holding up man. You know how gruesome that is. After man was busting the shake.
A young man.
They were Jake. It was known. That's how you know we're Israelites. Because if you know the tribe of Benjamin, we got to dance for everything. Every victory man get, like when Hussein Bolt, the man had the Hussein Bolt dance. Yeah, even when we won the cricket, man had a dance for that. That's the spirit of Jake. When Jake murk man's off, we got to dance. All these gangs got to dance. The Bloods got to dance. The Crips got to dance. That's Jake's spirit. We make up dance for everything. So when Jake go to war and we done bust off bare heads, people are getting slaughtered up like cow. What do you think we did after that? We rejoiced, we sang songs to the Lord.
Rank, yeah.
That's in the book of Exodus. And we sang the Lord is a man of war. Bad man tune. How you mean? Come on, man. That's part of our culture.
Yeah.
Now we're doing it in wickedness because we're celebrating killing ourselves. Which that's not how it's supposed to be. But you better best believe we're gonna be celebrating the fall of you Edomites, man, and you other nations.
100%.
And we used to do that. David would come, the women was singing. It's in the scriptures. What were they celebrating?
Hey, even the trees are gonna sing.
The trees?
Even the trees are gonna sing, man.
And the Lord never said, "Oh,
Nah,
thou
that's-
shalt not rejoice at when."
Revel in thy enemy's defeat.
Nah, man, they were
You
coming
know?
back. The women were singing up.
Hey, ain't no such thing as bad winners, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, God, no.
This is the book of Psalms 137 and the 7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, Bless it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who are to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou as served us.
So revenge is sweet. That's what he's saying right there. Revenge is sweet.
Sweet.
Happy shall we be. Right? So ain't nothing wrong with the spirit that we're in. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. The Lord justify it all.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why we ain't gonna lose sleep as well, because it's not unrighteousness. It's gonna be justified, man.
Yep.
It's gonna be balanced into the soul. You know what I mean? And we damn right we're gonna celebrate and drink yayan to your executions, man.
Yep.
No doubt. Anyway, let's keep it going.
You know, yeah.
Happy shall he be that taketh and dashes thy little ones against the stone.
Oh, it's cruel. It's horrible.
But hold on. Yahweh Shai said sing psalms. He that is happy sing psalms.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. So we can't sing that psalm then? Is that how it? Because that psalms that's Christians will be like, oh, you're a bit too hatey. It's a bit too hatey. You know what I'm saying? Hey, the scripture says Yahweh Shai the same yesterday as he is today, same tomorrow, isn't it? So the Lord's in that spirit.
Yeah, the Lord ain't gonna be shying away from the Lord gonna slay many men. The Lord ain't gonna be shying away from that. Man said he was eager. His fire burning within him, man, to come down and put you down. You know. So the Lord ain't gonna shy away with spreading.
But we're gonna put their children in slavery, man. The toddlers and all that, they're gonna be in slavery. Ain't gonna spare them. Oh, you know, well, it's a little kid.
And your house is gonna be A-okay with it. You know. No one can say nothing. Ain't no one trying to say nothing on your behalf, man.
And you reap what you sow, man.
That's right.
That's how it go down. Unfortunately for you.
Yep.
For you.
You done the most, you gonna get the most.
There you go.
Right?
But the vocab and that want to make us look bad for it. No, it's what's in the scriptures, my man.
That's right.
But the thing is with us is we're gonna go according to the scriptures. And we're gonna be disciplined according to the scriptures. He wants to make it look like we're some wild beasts. We're not wild beasts.
Yeah.
We're gentlemen.
But
But this is the part. This is part of what's going down, man. You're the wild beast. You're the guys that can't control yourself.
Yeah.
No discipline. You lack discipline.
Back in Ezekiel 35, verse 7, it said, thus would I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains with his slain men, and in thy hills and in thy valleys and in all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. I will make thee perpetual desolations.
Right, so that Mount Seir really represents America. Because America is going to be what? Perpetual desolations, man.
Yep.
Because that land, yeah, it does belong to you crackers. Yeah, we built it, but it's your operation. Well, guess what? That land that you're so proud of, it's going to be perpetual desolations, man. That place is going to be a permanent memorial to your foolery. You see, you Edomites, you really thought that you've honored yourself, man. You are going to go down throughout all human history, because you love that human thing, as just the most shameful fools there's ever been. Like lower than the animals was you Edomites, and your judgment was so severe, you were so foul, that the chief place that you built, the Lord saw it fit that nothing should ever be built there again. It's so defiled that it's just like, no, don't even, because if the Lord wanted to, you could have built, yeah, it's not a problem, it's earth, we can build it back up. No, they said, nah, man, that place has to be left for a memorial so that everyone could know this man is an idiot. This man was an idiot. This man was running around and he couldn't even define what a woman is. That's how bad it got. It got bad. This man thought, he actually thought he could develop weapons to fight against God, which is the chief foolery. When you actually think about what you're doing, it's the ultimate fool, beyond foolery. All right? That's going to be your heritage. You thought your heritage was going to be a god. No, your heritage is one of being a fool. Right. And all the nations throughout all history, the further you go in history, the more unbelievable it will be, but the proof will be there. Because people ain't going to want to believe it. They were doing what? Yeah, man, them man there, they thought they were enlightened. They were smoking cigarettes. They were doing what? Yeah, they were smoking cigarettes, giving themselves cancer, and then treating it with poison. What? They were doing what? This makes no sense. People are going to be like, this makes no sense.
Yeah.
None of it makes sense. And they were going, nah, man, they were doing that. They were chopping off penises, turning them inside out, and saying that that's a vagina. I was like, whoa, they were doing what?
Yeah.
Why? Where were the women? No, we had women. So what were they?
So why did they do it?
What? It just don't make no sense. But that's how, and they're going to be like, yo, these people were idiots. These people were fools.
Crazy.
But you, in your pride, you think you're top dog, like you're the shit right now. They ain't gonna last long, man. You're just a heathen and the worst of it. Go on now. Where did damn flies come?
Anyway, so I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy city shall not return, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. And going back to what we're saying, that Esau don't want to let us go, right? Verse 10 says this: because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine. Right. But we're not yours. We're the Lord's, we're the Heavenly Fathers. That's who we belong to, not you. You know? And that's the same thing that was told unto Pharaoh.
Yep.
Let them go so they may worship me.
In fact, get Jeremiah, real quick before you finish that, get Jeremiah 16, because the Lord already said that's why there's going to be a second redemption. Greater than the one out of Egypt.
Permanent one.
Because this man has lost his mind, man. He's lost his mind, and he really
pride puffing up, man.
The Lord already bought. That's why the scripture says we overcame him by the blood of Yahushua, because Yahushua already paid the price to end our captivity. And Esau's like, nope. Like, nope, we're gonna go on forever. Here, hold this chip. It's like, nah, brother. That's why the elect are not gonna be chipped, because of Yahushua. Because of the sacrifice Yahushua made, the Lord is gonna preserve and elect. That's why. That's how important it is. Because if Yahushua never made that sacrifice, Esau could do what he want to do. Yep. But he ain't gonna get to do that. And we ain't gonna bow the knee to them nasty ass, the Queen of England and these Prince Charles, that old clown. Look at him, man. These ugly people as well. All of them are ugly. And you know what? The higher you go up in Esau society, the uglier they look. Because all that inbreeding and that they were doing, yeah? That's truth. No, it's truth. Like, if you look at most of these aristocracy people, they're fucking ugly, man. They be ugly as hell. The ones they put out on TV, that's the best they got. So they just put them out there. Prince Charles, ugly, man. Yeah, Diana is ugly as well. I don't fuck, man. She was ugly too. Prince William ugly. Kate Williams, Kate basic, and they're all family. Basic looking asshole. The Duke before he died. Look at him, man. That look like Nosferatu, man. The original Nosferatu. Damn. Bram spoke.
It's like wrong with that family, man.
Yeah, they're inbred.
Prince actually don't sweat.
You know, they actually got cousins that they locked away from the public because they're so badly
Messed up.
inbred that they're like monsters. So they
Yeah.
lock them away. The Queen's got 2 cousins. They just keep them. They don't put them out there into the. They don't want no one to see them.
Right.
Inbred bunch of bastards, man. Anyway, go on.
This is the book of Jeremiah 16 and 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt.
Right, notice it says they brought up the children of Israel because that salvation was about the Israelites. Now you get these goofy people talking, what about the mixed multitude? Yeah, they obviously they were with the cattle in that.
Servants.
They were servants. They were riding along. They were just with the cattle. You don't say, oh, the Lord brought up the cattle. the cattle was just there. Yes. Oh yeah, the Lord saved the cattle. So did the Lord made a covenant with the cattle as well? Like, come on. When you read it, when you actually read it in the scriptures, it mentions the mixed multitude with the cattle. What more can I say? If the Lord is not dealing with these other nations, man, that salvation, when he said, let my people go, he weren't concerned with no mixed multitude. They just happened to be there and they wanted to roll with us, so they rolled. And they were servants. They never had inheritance with us. The Lord never made a covenant with them. They had to be separated from the congregation.
Well, the land was divided into tribe groups, right? So what did they receive then? What tribe were they from? They weren't, because they got nothing to do with them.
The Lord ain't dealing with these other nations, man.
They're
We're
just
gonna keep
servants.
saying it, man.
Yeah. You don't mention your servants in your
Oh,
land.
but what about if they listen? There ain't nothing they could do. They're gonna bow down. What are you gonna say if they bow down? They're gonna bow down anyway. That's what they're supposed to do. You don't get a reward for that. You don't get no brownie points. Kiss some Israelite's foot. So what, man? You can suck a dick if you want. Still not gonna mean nothing. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell? Go on, man. Hey, this is some Edomite woman, like, you know, they ain't making it on a chariot. So what's gonna happen? They're just gonna get burnt up anyway. You ever thought about that? There ain't gonna be no mixed multitude this time. Yeah, man. I want to serve you. Yeah. And you will.
Yeah.
Go on.
But the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north,
Right, that represents America, because America's in the North Country.
and from all the lands whither he had driven, he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers.
Right, we're gonna be brought again back into the land. That's the kingdom of heaven. We're gonna be brought back into the land of Israel. Not gonna be none of this goofy floating around in the sky business. The kingdom of heaven's gonna be here on earth. That's why it says the meek shall inherit the earth. What earth? Really, the whole earth, but going back into our original heritages and our original folds, man.
Yep.
Something we've lost sight of or understanding of. You know, because this Ephraim, all their eyes is set on Puerto Rico. They don't know that there's a land of Ephraim and Samaria. They don't know that Samaria is theirs. They don't know about Mount Ephraim, you know, because they've been removed from that. But now an elect are coming back to that knowledge.
Yeah.
And the Lord has a piece of land. A beautiful piece of land over there for us to inhabit, man, and to dwell in.
You know, we're gonna get back what's ours. You know, Puerto Rico is not ours. You know, America is not ours. You know, we got our home. You know.
Home base.
Mm.
Cheers, always cheers.
The mags. Yeah, finished?
Yeah, he's still.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's saying that these two nations, that's why we got to talk about the mark of the beast, man. It's slavery. Esau's bringing back hardcore slavery right in front of your very eyes, man. And they're trying to sell it to you like it's freedom. Like they had this guy, this pussy old fucking, what's that director dude? They're looking like Kermit the Frog. Spike Lee. Spike Lee, and he was in that money advert. Oh, the old money was oppressive, but the new money is freedom. Man, the new money is part of the mark of the beast system, the CBDCs. And if you notice,
Programmable money.
programmable money, CBDCs is big now. When we first started, Great Millstone, because these other goofy camps, like I walked past the IUIC camp today, you the guy that was teaching in Stratford,
Oh, yeah.
they don't teach you what the mark of the beast is. Them IUCP cats, they don't teach you about mark of the beast. They start talking about embargoes and all kind of goofy things. Who was the camp that first was telling you about central bank digital currencies? Who was bringing that out? That was before it was popular. Now, they're all talking about CBD. Not this group, but I'm talking about a lot more CBDCs are being mentioned in the news and
They've been at Davos.
Davos and all that, the WEF.
Yep,
They're talking about the digital money, the new financial system, the CBDCs, cross-border payments. That's everywhere now. The new legislations are coming through now. The EU, America, everyone's bringing in these global cryptocurrency legislations because it's now they're going to bring through that new financial system which is going to be backed by blockchain. But we told you about that, man. Not to brag and boast, but we're the watchmen and that's our job. Ain't weren't nobody telling you about that. ISUPK, they weren't telling you about that. They still don't know what a CBDC is. Cause they don't even know, well, Nate don't know what an RFID is, so I don't know, how you gonna know what a CBDC is?
Back here, 35 and 10 says, because thou hast said these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas the Lord was there. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will even do according to thine anger and according to thine envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them. And I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee.
I'll make myself known among them, because how the Lord is going to sanctify us and glorify us and bring us and separate us from the other nations.
That's right.
And that's how everyone's going to have to acknowledge, yo, that's the people of the Lord. That's why we know vocab and them think we lose sleep over them. We don't, because ultimately we're going to be justified. And little pussies like you, vocab, are going to be begging us for respect. You're going to be begging us for attention like a groupie. You're going to be like Isaiah 45. You the one that's going to be proclaiming it to us. We're going to tell you to shut up, man. We don't hear it. Oh, surely, you know what I mean? Gassing man up. Surely the Lord is in thee. Begging man for respect. We say, yo, I know. I tried to tell you that before, but you didn't want to show no respect. Clap. Shut your stinking mouth.
This is your reward.
Yeah, that's gonna be in there. Them man are gonna have to admit that we're the Israelites. We don't need they're gonna know. It's gonna be in front of their eyes that we're the chosen people. Because the Lord is gonna be sanctified within us, man, before their eyes.
And that's something we've always said, man. We don't need confirmation from you or affirmation from you. Like you're the deciding factor in all of this, man. No, you're not. We know what we are. You know, we know what the Lord's gonna do. We know where you're gonna be at in the time to come. You know, all we're waiting for is for that time to come. That's it. And then all this talking back and forth, that can end. You know, man of action now. You know, to give a man of action.
Ain't gonna be no talking,
You know?
man.
That's it, because we've done it. We've done it already.
Yeah, we preach.
We've done it. Well,
preach,
that's all the power that we have right now is to speak. Speak this word. That's all the power we got.
Only speaking is gonna be giving out orders, and that's terrible for you.
Yep. But when we get given that real power, man, hey, it's gonna be action time, man.
Action.
You know, we don't need to talk no more. We've done the talking. We've warned you, told you. Now it's just manifestation of what's written, man. You know, and it ain't, like I said, it ain't gonna be pretty.
Ain't gonna be nice.
Yep.
Slavery ain't nice, man. Go watch Roos. It's not meant to be.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It's not meant to be nice.
This
Yeah,
is-
you look at these little youths running around here now. Listen, they're gonna be hard times for them.
yeah. Man, enjoying their walks. No.
And ain't gonna have no childhood. It's gonna be peak. What childhood? You'll be working from the moment you got muscle.
Hey, well, they had our children doing the same thing, man. As soon as they could walk or
in the field, didn't it?
picking cotton or whatever, man, carrying baskets or whatever they were doing, you know.
Sticking their hand in machinery and
This is a book of wisdom of
Chinese conversation.
Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 7 from the top. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such.
And
as
you
the-
hate this. You hate the fact that we come bold. Like we're not backing down from you. You know what I mean? Like why? Why should we?
Sugarcoat the thing.
We're not scared of you or what you believe. Doesn't mean anything to us, man. So we're gonna come out in boldness, man, because you know what these scriptures, mean. You know? Yep.
Before the first of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labor. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for.
Right, because the Lord is going to return, man, and it's going to be mad. They're going to think it's like an alien invasion or something. And the Lord's going to come, and it's a one-time event, so it's going to be the ground shaking, all kind of craziness, crazy otherworldly vibrations coming through the zones, man. It's going to be a madness, man, and these men are going to be shook. They're going to, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. They're going to be shook down to the bone, down to the core. All them things of Revelations come to pass, man. It's gonna be, and it's close. It's closer than what people would care to really understand. Listen, by next year, listen, any year right now could literally be the first year of the kingdom. That's how close we are, man. Because it don't take too much for things to get sped up.
I mean, look what's changed in the last few years. A lot's changed.
This gospel can grow as fast as the Lord wants, because you got a thing called viral nowadays. Thing could get real. The Lord wanted to. The Lord could wake up with using the unicorn. The Lord could wake up hundreds of thousands in one day if the Lord wanted to.
Easy that one.
And seal them with belief, because that's all it takes. As long as they believe, then they're sealed. And then there it goes, man. Society start collapsing.
Angels can get busy. let go of the four winds, you know.
Next thing you know, you Edomites are going from drinking Starbucks 1 week, and a month later, you in the pit, man, wondering what happened with your life, man. Down bad. World's, you know, my whole life has changed. That's how you. That's how you. That's how you gonna be going down in them pits, man. Your whole life has changed, man. Wow. That's what happens to everyone else, though. All them jakes that went into slavery, yeah, 1 week they were free, the other week they were in slavery. They were sitting on a boat like, damn.
Been there ever since.
Yeah. What happened? The whirlwind, didn't it? That's what they call it, the whirlwind. Shit changes, man. Go on,
No, you finished already.
And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach.
Yeah, they were talking shit. Beginning with the so-called white man, they've consistently talked shit about our people, man. Consistently ridiculed us, and they ain't got nothing good to say. But they're gonna be sorry, man. They're gonna be sorry. Because they're gonna know, oh man, these men have got the upper hand. Fucked. You're gonna know you're fucked, like from the day one. From you see your overlords and it's the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and network idiots, man. You're gonna be like, fuck, because you know what you did. So you know what has to come. You're gonna be convicted by your own spirit, because you know what you would do if you was in our position. So you're gonna be like, oh man.
The dread.
Oh man. Emptying out them bowels, man, because you know it's supposed to be peak.
And the way we've been speaking about it too, you know what man's is on.
And we ain't gonna be coming with no friendly like visage to you, man. You know when a man hate you. You know what I'm saying? You know when a man ain't pretending, like he can't even pretend. The man just looking at you like you're meat. Because
the hate is real. The hate is real, right? And the worst thing about it, no one that hate you more on this planet than the Most High. And we ain't gonna have His spirit upon us, man.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be cold.
That's how bad it's gonna be. You're worried about. The Most High hates you more than any of us, man. Guarantee you, right?
Cold.
And the Most High gonna have no mercy. The Most High gonna have a spirit of no mercy upon us, man.
You're gonna see it in our eyes, man, and that alone is gonna just. But there's gonna be no smiling. Well, we'll be smiling with each other, but then when we look at you, you know,
dead
like
serious.
These man ain't gonna ease off, man.
Nah, every day is gonna be a madness.
It's like when you get caught by the cartel, blood. You know what time it is. Ah, fuck. These man about to fillet me, blood. You know what I mean? It's peak.
Yep.
You can't even beg. Got that.
Yep, yep. That's what you could say.
Take away yourself. That's what it's gonna- oh man.
We fools account his life madness and his hand to be without honor.
That's what they think. They think that our end. They wish that our end is gonna be what? We're gonna just be
Nobody.
in slavery. We're gonna be nobodies. You know? That's what they want. They want us to be nothing of note. Nah, we're the sons of God, man.
So
We are. That's our destiny. Our destiny is to be great, to be glorified, to be uplifted.
Yep.
You know?
How is he numbered among the children of Most High?
Right? How are these bunch of niggas and crackheads and low down? Well, yeah, we'll agree. Our people were brought really low, but that same people are gonna be brought high. That same people that's down bad right now, looking crazy all over the internet. Oh, all right, but we're still the Lord's people, man, and we're still gonna be glorified and uplifted, man.
Because you had your hand in bringing us low. That's the beautiful thing about it, because that means you gotta get judged. You know, so you looking down bad on us, man, but you helped put us there. You know, so you gotta pay for that.
It's gonna be an amazing transformation, but you should have remembered this, as you were at one time, you were the basis of men, and you became the ruler. Right now, we're the basis men. We're the ones at the bottom. But the Lord can do that. The Lord could take the person that's at the bottom that nobody ain't considering and put them right at the top. You're like, wow, damn,
Yep.
that's crazy. And it is crazy, man. We're going from the ghetto to the heights. Started from the bottom, now we
Well,
here.
that's the thing. Like, our people don't even have an army to fight no war.
No army,
You know what I'm saying?
no nothing.
So you obviously not taking seriously. But our army is in the heavens. That's what you're not understanding right now. You know? So that we look at the most unlikeliest people to be ruling, but that's how the Most High likes
Yeah,
it.
everyone think the Chinese and all this
Yeah, yeah.
stuff, man.
That's how the Most High likes it though. He likes those odds. You know, to make something so he can show his own power.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not nothing to do with us really, it's to show his own power. Look what I did to this people.
But that's why he built up Pharaoh, and Pharaoh had the chariots and
Yep.
all that mighty power, and they were consumed
That's right.
by the Spirit of the Lord. The same thing with Esau. Esau's got all this mighty military and laser weapons, and the man thinks he's moving like Star Trek and thinks he's Thor, and that he's just gonna get broke up. Simple as that. Easy work.
Yep.
And that's gonna show people, the Most High ain't to be effed with. The man had amassed all this supercomputer, quantum computer. Man got all this technology and all this, that, and the third, and then he just got wiped out, man, and put into a pit with a sackcloth. Oh, man got blasted out of his Armani's into some sackcloth. Oh, you down bad
With a bit of tears.
with the cufflinks. Man got blasted out of his cufflinks, man. Wow. So, Bill Gates and them sweaters and shit. Them $3,000 sweaters. Just gone. Man's in the sackcloth right now. Potato sack and that. Wow. God, looking bummy.
And his Lord, and is among the saints. Therefore, have we heard from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness has not shined unto us, and the Son of righteousness lies not upon us.
That's right. These devils are set in themselves to do evil and to follow after the ways of blasphemy. And that's why their mind and their heart, this whole world, is to follow after an evil way. And the MOTB is a completely unrighteous and evil way. That's not how the Most High set up for man to live on earth. This system that Esau's setting up is oppressive as fuck. Like, you gotta remember that the Most High, man said 10th. Esau don't even hold back to the 10th. But Esau taking the 80% for himself. This man is wicked.
And every day he's eating into your money in your pocket every day with inflation.
Just taking the piss, man.
Always taking money from you,
The
man.
Lord didn't create the earth to have people slumming it. This guy is evil, man. He don't want no one. That's why they said we still got Psalm 64.
Yeah,
They said you should own nothing. The Lord never wanted the earth to be like that.
Yep.
If the Lord wanted it to be like that, he would have set it up like that. He said he gave unto every nation their inheritances. Even the monkeys have inheritance, man. Even the chimpanzee, them, the Lord made a place for the chimpanzee and said, hold that. And the chimpanzee are running around with the man, with the banana them and that, and yamming it up. Esau's like, nah, fuck that. I want everything. Everything has to belong to me. I want a camera in your room. I want to watch you fuck your wife. What the fuck? I want to control when you get pregnant, when you don't get pregnant, how many kids you can have. Where's that in the law?
You're not fit to reproduce.
What's up with this guy? Wicked, man. Can we get this? Oh, okay,
Yeah, more
finish
than
it.
the point you're talking about. We whirled ourselves in the way of weakness and destruction.
That's right. That's what Esau's done. Esau had a, listen, even though we know through the spirit that he couldn't have done anything more than he's done because he's the devil that the Bible speaks of, nevertheless, he had the money, the resources, and the know-how to make the world a better place. He had that. Because for every knowledge you gain, it's got a double side to it. That's why the Bible says you can't call nothing good or evil. Everything the Lord made is good, because everything has a use and an abuse. Every knowledge that you can learn, like you can learn about, for instance, you can learn about the colors and the effect different colors have on people, and you can use that for righteousness. You can, you know what I'm saying? You can learn about crystals. You could, this earth, there's so many things you can learn about. You can learn about food. There's things you can learn. And then if you apply the law and apply righteousness and wisdom, you can use it for the benefit of people. What does Esau do? Every single thing that Esau acquires in terms of knowledge, he will find a way to use it for destructive means, for the means of evil.
His own selfish agendas.
His own selfish, greedy, demonic agendas, man. That's his nature. And he can't say, he took the knowledge of psychology. What did he do? How can I destroy the woman? He didn't say, oh, okay, how can we make women the best they can be? Because we know all this psychology, right? We know how to manipulate the mind. That works both ways. Right?
Mm-hmm.
The knowledge of, when you learn psychology, you learn how to manipulate someone, that means if you can manipulate them to the left, you know how to manipulate them to the right. They could use television. Don't you know that you could use television, instead of using it to dumb people down, you could use it the other way.
The same as lies. You need to know the truth in order to do lies.
To deceive. So this man Esau, he had ample opportunity to build a better world, so to speak. He chose not to do that. He chose the way of wickedness. He chose the way of evil. He did that. It didn't have to be no third world. He did that.
Piece it up.
Go on.
This is Isaiah chapter 7, right? This is about Yahweh Shai, right? Verse 14 says, therefore the Lord himself shall give you a sign. Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel. Butter and honey shall we eat, that he may know to refuse evil and choose the good. Now, Esau is the complete opposite of that.
Yeah.
He's the complete opposite.
Satan,
He knows
man.
good. He knows what to do, but he don't do good like Cain. He knew what the right thing was to do,
Yeah.
but he didn't want to do that. Right? Esau's in that same shit. He's doing the same thing.
Man's knew. They knew, yo, this cigarette thing is
Ain't good for
killing
no one.
people. Man did it anyway.
We can make loads of money because they're gonna get addicted to it. And
Did it anyway.
And they're still selling it now. You know what
You'll
I'm
do
saying?
it anyway,
It's
man. You'll do it anyway. Esau, there's methods, there's things that you can do to make things better. There's technology. You can use technology for good, or there's no technology that's good or bad. There's a good use and a bad use. That's why as Christians use the word not abusing it. There's a use for everything. The Lord created everything. Every knowledge and wisdom, it's created for a reason. Tells you that in the Apocrypha. That's why you can't say anything's good or bad, because in due time, it will come. Like there's poisons in the earth that have a use. You know, most things on the earth have a use for a particular time that you could use it for. And you might think, oh, what's that there for? Because you don't need it right now. And then 10 years down the line, oh, you could use that particular thing for this. Oh, okay. Boom, boom. That's why the Lord created it. Like opium, all these drugs that you see, there is a use for them. Opium is a painkiller. Like, I go into it all the time. Guys working in the field, you know, maybe the ox let loose, something snapped, man's leg gets broke up or whatever. He's in pain. You need to do something. Maybe you got amputated. You got to cut the man's leg off or he's gonna die. Okay, get the milk of the poppy. Put the milk of the poppy on the wound, numb the wound. You ease the man's pain.
Get that leg off.
Get the or whatever, you know, whatever you do.
Yeah,
that's what the Lord created it for a reason. Not for you to be taken and injecting into your veins and turning yourself into a damn zombie. That's called abuse. You know, everything has a use and an abuse, but Esau will always find the destructive path.
Yeah.
And that's this world, destructive activities, evil,
Son of perdition.
death.
Yeah.
It's the book of Psalms 17 and the 13. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword.
That's right. Esau's just there to cause pain, man. That's all he's here for, to cause pain. And that's what he's done, and he's going to continue to do that until the day that he's destroyed. That's why with all that's happening in the world, Esau is doing a damn thing to avert it. He adding to the flames to try and control it. He's a devil. What the fuck? He ain't trying to stop the famine. The man's helping.
Man's burning barns down. Shit.
Scum.
Crashing planes into it and shit, you know. Doing all that he can, you know.
He's scum, man.
Wait,
Esau's
what?
scum.
He's doing that. He's paying off farmers to not grow. He's doing that, right? Mr. Gates, he out there buying all this farmland up. All right. These are not all coincidences, you know. They ain't all coincidences, but it's all having an effect on this upcoming famine. You know.
He's scum.
Got it.
What?
More?
Just a little bit, just a little bit. Yeah, this. Wisdom of Solomon 5 and the 6, 7. We whirled ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction.
That's the only thing you know. You don't know the truth. You don't know light. You don't know how to do good. Because you weren't made for that purpose. You were made to be the wicked. Right? To be that example of the wicked. Right? Not the holy grail of civilization is the so-called white man. That's not what you're here for. Right? You're the example the most are going to make. For, you know, the destruction that's going to come upon you is to show how wicked you were, man. You know?
Dude taking all the money, talking about how they want to go to Mars. When we got Earth
Problems
right here.
Your problems here.
You're a fucking asshole, man. You're an asshole. Esau's a fucking asshole. And you people praise these people, man. These people spend all this money doing, and you Jake, are suffering. And they spend all the money, these Christians, they spend all the money on rockets and exploding nuclear bombs in the fucking air. Billions upon billions on exploding nuclear weapons in the air before they spend any money on you, Jake, man. And you telling me this man is a fucking humanitarian, man.
They had no money for reparation. None of that stuff going
Yeah,
on.
but they got money for rockets.
Space programs and shit.
For Mars. Fuck out of here,
Piss
man.
take, man.
It's a piss take, man. This guy's a piss taking, man. Oh, man. They meet up at the G7, yeah, we're gonna tackle poverty, and then everyone gets poorer. You fucks, man. You know what I mean? Like, fuck these devils, man. Every year the G7 meets, the G20 have declared war on poverty already.
And all these men, every time they meet, they're richer every time they meet each other.
Yeah, this guy. There was a document.
know?
There was a interview with an ex fucking police officer, detective, undercover detective actually. He's the reason he nabbed a whole bunch of man from up north, Birmingham man, the Burger Bar boys, Johnny. He put a whole bunch of them guys in jail, and he said it was a massive sting operation. He died a few times, for nearly getting caught, and he put these fuckers in jail, right? And he after he did all this operation, I think it was like over 100 people got put in jail off this fucking operation. Like major, this is like the cutting the head off the snake apparently. He said, how long do you think before that operation was back up and running? He said it was about an hour. Within about an hour, after putting all them Jakes and all them dudes in prison, other Jakes and crackers just came in and took their place. And he said the police know that when they do these drug busts and they put all these Jake in jail, they know that that does nothing to stop the overall drug trade. Does absolutely nothing. Them people just get replaced in the matter of like an hour. Within an hour, other gangs just take that slack and just replace them. But what he says they do, they know if they put on the front of the newspaper £1 million worth of cocaine seized, 10 men arrested, the public think, oh wow. So, but he goes, as a policeman, you know that has done nothing. Literally within 20 minutes to an hour, next man are on the phone to the link, and they're up, businesses as usual. So they know it don't work.
Fulfilling them orders.
Fulfilling them orders, but they know that it don't work. But what Esau, it's all on purpose, man. Esau knows how to fix that situation. He don't want to fix it. He likes because he controls the chaos, and then the chaos gives him power, man. It's all a falsehood, this world, man. It's a good interview, man. The guy's real policeman, and he campaigns because in Spain they legalized it and they got rid of all the drug crime because it took the money out of it, and they know that. So why don't they do that everywhere? Because they want it to be that way. They want it to be that crime, so they can put Jake in jail, they can make the money, they can have the police come in and menace people.
The old guys in the midst of control that, you know? Because maybe, you know, it's like sometimes, you know, a man gets too big for his boots and they got a replacement. You know, they'll set up another puppet dude in there.
They get replaced. That's how it rolls on the street, man. When's the last time a guy went to jail for drug dealing, and then you can't get drugs no more? The next man is on that block within the hour, and he's handing out his number, his line now, and his line's popping. So life goes on. Same block, same spot. That's how it goes, right? Esau knows that. Go on, yeah, Esau, man, it's a fraud.
Yeah, we have gone through desert there where there lay no way, but as for the way of the Lord, we have not known it.
Right, they haven't applied the wisdom of the Lord in righteousness, which is in the scriptures. They've ignored it and gone about to set their own way and managed to convince the people that their way is right, to the point where if you are, for instance, let's take the LG to the you know what, right? If you're against those people or have any form of negative things to say, you're evil now. You're the evil one. You're a bigot, this, that, and the other. You're the devil. You are the devil. That's the, you know, because they're right. They're righteous. Oh, you should support what, man? Do I look like a beam? Do I look like a beam, like, to support what?
What's your overall?
They mean support. Oh, don't you support? They set up their own. Feminism is righteousness, and you know, women's right and children's right. That's what's righteous now. So the people are confused because they're reading the Bible, and they don't know what's right and what's wrong now. Because is the Bible wrong, or is the Bible right, or is this right? They're all confused because Esau set this society up in a way which is against. But then you got these guys like Vocab. We're telling the truth of the Bible, and he's busy hating on us, trying to be like a Negro, hating on the fact that he wasn't born with the melanin and the gifts, and he can't do the Harlem Shake, so he can't do the screechy, right? He tried. He can't run 100 meter, you know, under 20 seconds. You know, he hurt, man. You know what I'm saying? Man was in set 4 and that. You know what I mean? With the fat kids. Yeah. And he took all his vitamins, right? He coming against us. Meanwhile, his society that he supports is totally against everything that's in the scriptures, man. Totally. So they're totally against it.
Yep.
Male and female created he them. Now there's like 50 genders, man. 122 genders, man.
Where's that?
But Vocab got a problem with us. That's not a problem though. Fuck out of here, man.
Just this last bit on Ezekiel 35, verse 12, right? It says, "And thou shalt know that I am the Lord, and that I have heard all thy blasphemies which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel, saying, they are laid desolate, they are given us to consume."
Right. So that's talking about the land. Because they want to take our land. That's called the Greater Israel Project. So Esau wants to consume the Holy Land. He wants the whole earth, but he wants our land, and that's a blasphemy. Because guess what? The Lord had promised to Abraham by promise that that land would belong to his seed. And now Esau's turning around and saying, well, nah, like, we're going to own it, and we're going to put the people that's supposed to own it in slavery and chip them up.
Yep.
So we're going to possess it forever.
And
The
you-
Rothschilds are going to own the land of Israel, and you got Rothschild Boulevard down there, and they got a bunch of buildings named after them. That's blasphemy.
Yeah, you was giving your own land. You know? But like I say, it's not enough for you, man. The world is not enough, isn't that James Bond movie?
Yeah, well, no.
It's the seesaw, man. The world is not enough.
Yeah, they want Mars and
Yeah.
they want
No.
the universe.
But it ain't yours.
And it's like you can't even get what you're doing right.
Yeah.
It's greedy, man. You know, like it's like a guy that don't finish his plate and he want to still eat everyone else's plate before he even finish his own, man.
Yeah.
It's a clown, man.
It's verse 13. It says, thus with your mouth you have boasted against me. And
Right, because ultimately when you're boasting and saying, oh, the land is gonna be mine, you're saying, well, the Most High can't do what he promised. That's what you're saying. You're saying that the Lord's word is worthless. And you don't ever disrespect the word of the Most High, because you're basically, the Most High don't like that. You know what the Most High love? When you acknowledge his power.
Yeah.
Oh, the Lord love that. When you, yeah, the Lord is great. When you praise the Lord love it. Oh, he love it. What the Lord don't like is when you kind of play him down, when you despise him, like he ain't nothing. Like, I know he said that that's their land, but I ain't worried about that. No respect. You're not showing respect. You're not showing no fear or no consideration.
they're acting like they can overcome the Most High's word. You know? And that's madness.
That's madness, man.
This is verse 14. Thus saith the Lord of power, when the whole earth rejoiceth, I will make you desolate.
Oh man. Ooh, yes, and that's these Edomites, man. When the whole world rejoices, the Lord's gonna make you desolate, man. Because Esau gonna come out the worst from this whole deal.
Yep.
Esau gonna come out of this deal with nothing. And that's ironically justifiable, because he was the only one of the nations that tried to possess everything. So he gonna end up with nothing.
Yep.
Not even his own inheritance. That's gonna be given unto Judah. These other nations, they're gonna have a place in the world. Esau ain't gonna be no place found for him.
That's right.
He's gonna be exiled from paradise, man. He gonna wish he was able to serve in the kingdom, but he ain't even gonna get that honor. You know, even Kublai Khan said to, remember when the guy got sold into slavery, and he was all acting like funny, and Kublai Khan would look at him like, you crazy? You don't know that? You don't know it's a great honor to serve in my house, to be my slave? That's an honor, man.
It's like the highest thing you could be doing in my kingdom right now. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna complain of that.
You'd be better off being a slave in the kingdom than being dead. You know what I mean? What's wrong with you?
Shoveling pig shit. You know what I mean?
Hey, but Vocab said it. He said,
Yeah.
I don't want to be a slave to Apostle Taha and Apostle Abraham Lab. You won't. Well, you will be, but only for a temp. Don't worry. There'll be a time when you won't be anybody's slave, because you're gonna be dead. Yeah, that's that. Idiot.
It's verse 15. It says, as thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate, so will I do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea, even all of it, and they shall know that I am the Lord.
That's right, man. Psalm 64. So give Revelation 13. See, everything's happening right now. Esau is really putting a lot of things together. He's preparing it's really a controlled demolition. Everything you see happening with the economy, the petrol prices, Esau's the one that's manipulating and controlling all of that.
Yep.
Right? They use the interest rates and all this crap, and they have high power algorithms that control all the prices of these things. For the longest, even the stock market for the longest while, it ain't humans that are trading on it. It's fucking algorithms. So using the algorithms, they can control when the price goes up and when the price goes down, and then they make up something in the media and blame it. Oh well, yeah, it's just art. Really, they got what's called high frequency trading going on.
Rapid.
And the algorithms can make it go up, make it go down. Same with the crypto market. Crypto market's all algorithms. They can make that shit go up, make it go down. Right? They've got it down to a science, man. So you got the banks. They already set the time bomb up for the banks. They know at any one time, basically, phone calls can be made, and this bank could be insolvent, and they can cascade the whole thing. And it's funny, an article came out, was it yesterday? And the Bank of England said, oh, now the UK banks are no longer too big to fail.
Yep.
And they tried to say, well, they've fixed the problem, so these banks, if they got insolvent, they wouldn't need to bail them out. What they're doing is setting up this unforeseen circumstance, and they're not going to bail them out because the contagion is going to be too big. They're going to bail in, meaning consume all your money that's in them accounts, and that gives them conveniently, they're going to have the new system right there ready to roll out and provide it for you. The new financial system that's not new, because they've been planning it for the last 20 years in all the documents.
Yep.
This whole CBDC, and they've been piloting that and planning it for the last 15, 20 years. But now they're bringing it out to the public more and more. Okay, the BIS, which is the Bank of International Settlements, the IMF, the World Bank, and the other central banks. And then you got the certain private tech companies that have been in the know. So if you notice now, even MasterCard and Visa are now on board with the whole, cryptocurrency thing, which goes into the CBDCs. And what are they also on board with? The cashless system. Yeah? So it's already coming together right now. And then you see these shortages, so that's going to bring on the need for rationing and all these different systems. Then you got an energy crisis. Again, that's going to cause a need to ration the energy. You see? Esau know what he's doing. Like, the Ariala did the video yesterday or the day before that. It's the order out of chaos. Esau is bringing this chaos. But what he don't understand is, really, he's preparing the way for the real new world order. Yeah, the Judah world order.
The conditions of the return of our Lord. That's what he said.
Yahweh Shai's world order. That's what's really gonna come. Go on now. Let's what you got? Psalm 64. Let's read that.
This is the book of Psalm 64. I'm sorry, from the top. Hear my voice, O Most High, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the wake of iniquity.
Yeah, Klaus Schwab and all them dons there. The fourth industrial revolution. The Guten Tag, he's German or something, Austrian or some shit like that. And it's all these same guys are linked, because Klaus Schwab was an understudy to Henry Kissinger. And then when you find out that all these world leaders, they get schooled by Klaus Schwab. Most of them were part of the WEF Young Leaders Program. Putin and Elon Musk, all these guys came up being taught the agenda by Klaus Schwab. And that goes into what's his name? You had a guy Noam Chomsky, and he said you got two classes in society: the specialized class and the bewildered herd. And he said the specialized class, their job is to learn how to serve the owners of society. So they go to most of the time they'll go to private education and they'll be groomed to come in and control the bewildered herd and bring forth the policies of the people who own society. So that's these different politicians, and they all get their schooling from somewhere. And you go into it, the World Economic Forum young leaders, a lot of these guys were part of that program, even Putin, because Putin's part of it too, the agenda. He's just another part of the agenda, because they're pushing that new financial system too, with the digital ruble and all that.
Yeah.
Going up,
Controlling the commodities.
controlling up them commodities. Everyone's right now. There's like a push to get these digital currencies legalized and put into legislation. So the second half of the year, you're gonna see a lot of policies being pushed through to bring these CBDCs through, man. Because really, that's what it's all about. to incorporate blockchain, the distributed ledger technology into the financial system and wider. It's coming.
Who work their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in the secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter.
Right, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. You got these elites, they have these meetings where they come together and discuss how they're going to bring these plans. So you got the World Economic Forum, Davos, you got the G7, the G20, the Bilderberg meeting, and there's loads on so many different levels. They have these conferences that you get certain captains of industry they're invited to behind closed doors, and they talk about where things are going. And sometimes the people in the meeting don't even know the bigger picture because they compartmentalize. So they're running with a program and they don't even know how that program fits into the larger, you know, and everybody ain't in the know. Some people just only know their part. They don't know that there's a bigger, you know, conspiracy, but that's how they control things. They have these groups that splinter off from bigger groups. The Davos would be kind of like one of them bigger groups, man. And them guys are more in the know. They know what's going on. They know what it's all about. Slavery. And they know a lot of people are gonna die in what they're about to do. But they're down with that.
Because it's the same condition, man. Like when Jake was in captivity, you know, in chains, he was still in captivity. When we was in chains, we owned nothing. But we weren't happy at all. But now they're trying to sell it to us like, oh, it's gonna be different this time around. You're gonna have nothing, but we're gonna make it so that you can be happy. Now these are just taking back what these little freedoms, or you know, freedoms, quote unquote, that he's giving you, man. You know,
these liberty, which that's in the Learned Elders of Zion. It talks about destroying people with liberties so that they can turn around and say, well, look, people are drinking too much, people are doing this too much, people are having too much sex, too many, you know, and so now they can come in and say, okay, we need to control this, control that.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a slick, man. Serpentine.
So it's just slavery they reinvented, essentially, you know.
They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately.
Right, they commune of laying snares. This new system that they're bringing forth, you know, it's a trap. This new digital system is a trap. Everything about it was built like a net being built around, but people don't see it until it's going to be too late. Build the cashless society. It's a trap. Right, the CBDCs, it's a trap. This digital money that they're gonna airdrop people, it's gonna be a trap. The chip is gonna be a trap. But they're selling it to you like, oh yeah, you know, the cheese. Oh, okay. This is gonna be good for you. It's necessary. What? What?
They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquity. They accomplish a diligent search of the inward thoughts of every one of them, and the heart is deep. But the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded.
Right, because Yahweh Shai is gonna return, and that's really what's gonna. Because if Yahweh Shai didn't return, Esau would come out of them bunkers with the robots and that, and have take all the chip people, put them in these, you know, these cities and this rule. The real thing that's really gonna put the real end to Esau is Yahweh Shai's return. That's what he can't deal with. That's gonna be the end of Esau. When Yahweh Shai cracks them skies, that's gonna put a spanner in the whole plan. Yeah. That's when the enterprise is gonna completely fall apart and fail and implode upon itself, man.
So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away, and all men shall fear, and shall declare the work of Most High, for they shall wisely consider of his doings.
That's right. They're gonna, the Most High really did all this, man. He took this man out, man, when he thought he was really gonna get some work done. Now he doing all the work.
The righteous shall be glad in the Lord, and shall trust him, and all the upright in heart shall glory.
That's right. That's talking about the elect. We're gonna glory in that time. You got Revelations 13,
Yeah.
16. So that's why we constantly talk about this MOTB, the mark of the beast, because it's happening, man. And we normally identify it through the system, the infrastructure. Infrastructure is being built. They setting it up right now, man. The whole collapse of this economy is all about bringing in this MOTB. And we showed you all the different ways. The high idea of shortages and rationing, because they're digitizing the systems to control the resources. They've been doing that for years. That's why RFID has become ubiquitous. They set something up called Cradle to Grave, to be able to track and trace all resources from cradle to grave. A big part of that was the Green Initiative, and they used the whole Green Initiative and greener economy and the global warming to then say, oh, you know what, we got to track and trace and all of this carbon. Well, that means you got to track and trace all the activity. In order for you to know this t-shirt, it costs a certain amount of carbon, that means you tracked every resource that came together and the productivity to create that t-shirt. But how do you do that? Everything has to be quantified. How do you do that? Well, you have to have these digital systems that all these factories have now, where they can input all this data, so they know, okay, this amount of electricity is being used to do this coal, and then the coal production has the same thing going on. Okay, this machinery, it's all got RFID on it. They're measuring everything, even in transit. The whole IBM thing, IBM tracking all the trucks as they're traveling using RFID. RFID has become ubiquitous. It's everywhere. Everything is tracked with RFID, so they know where a shipment is at all times. Okay, where's the shipment? Oh, it's there. We know. So then if the driver fuck about and take the wrong turn, they know it. Even when we get in the taxis now, the black cabs, down here we got the Uber, right? And then you got the black cabs. A lot of the black cabs now have to use the apps to compete with Uber. So they're on the Get app and then things like that, right? And then so, you know, when we get our cabs, well, you don't get cabs, but when you get the cab, sometimes you might tell the driver, driver, can you just take a left and drop me down? But on the system, he's supposed to drop you like at a particular station, but you might live like before the station on the left, you know, a bit. Sometimes you say, you know what, yeah, I'll have to go up to the station first, end the job, and then I'll come back and drop you off and take you there. Because on the system, they know that I've taken this route. Or they might say, oh, you know what, as the driver, can you take that route? They'll be like, no. Because they'll know, they can track the driver as he's going live. And they'll be like, well, why did you take that route? Whereas back in the day, you couldn't do that. Man would just run the route and you wouldn't know. And he would just say, oh, the job cost 40 quid. Now they'll be like, hold on, it's not a 40 quid job. If you'd have took this route, it would have been 33. We know you went this route. So everything's becoming tracked and digitized, man. But that's all part of the MOTB system. Then all they need to do is put that chip, and that chip then connects you in. It identifies you, because everything in the digital system has to have an identifier. That chip now identifies you with your biometrics into that system. So it's not just a chip. A chip by itself doesn't do anything. You just got a chip by itself. What does it do? No, that chip has to have a system that it connects to in order to operate. Yeah? Infrastructure. Go on, huh?
It's Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he calls them all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
Right, so this crisis that they're going to create is going to be so overwhelming, it's going to affect even the rich. Even the people that think they got money like that usually they're cool, they ain't going to be cool. They're going to be pressure on them too. Well, they're going to want the chip. You're going to have people that think they got money right now and everything's sweet, and yeah, they can easily absorb some of the inflation because they normally have a higher amount of disposable income. Like you got certain families that in a month they might have 2 grand money, that's just money they can spend a month. Like 2 grand is they can then use that to get takeaways. You know, there's a program they used to have called How the Other Half Live, and you'll have the one council estate single mum, and they'll have like fucking £30 spare for the week. So sometimes it's less than that. So and then the rich family will go to live how the poor family live, and they'll be like, what? And they're like, yeah, you got £30 for the week, and from that you need to buy this, that, and da. So then they're going out having to count every penny. So how much we got left? Like £3, or we could get some chips and share it. And then that poor family will go to the other family, and they got like 2 grand, and they'll be like, what you mean 2? Yeah, you got 2 grand to do everything. And oh shit! So they're going restaurants every day, and because they can. You got people that live like that. They go restaurant twice a week and spend £200 in a restaurant on the whole family, and that's just like spare cash they have. So those people, when inflation is happening and they're spending an extra £200 on their shopping bill, an extra £200 on their gas, when they're spending an extra grand a month, they still got another grand left where they can play with. So to them it's like, times are getting harder, we got to cut back on a few sauna sessions, but it ain't so bad. But you see, what's going to happen with them guys when the money gets super inflated, they might lose their job, their source of income, they can't sell certain assets, and the bank collapses, and all the money they had stored in the bank, they can't access it. Now all of a sudden, you had 2 grand a week, now you ain't got no money because you can't get money out your bank.
Yep.
So you got to go now in the same line as that motherfucking single mom, because you're in the same boat as she is. Because your access to your income has been destroyed. Because the system's collapsed and you can't get your money out the bank. Because a bank run affects everyone, not just a single mom. It affects also the guy that's got $1 million in his account. If he
Anyone that's got money in the bank.
Anyone that's got money in the bank. So they're gonna cause a crisis that's even gonna affect the so-called rich, the people who are, you know, on 200 grand a year in the family and upwards. They're $1 million families. You're gonna see them lining up to get free food because they ain't got no money. The card don't work. Your account's been emptied. Huh? Yeah, the bank had to do a bail-in. Sorry, that $1 million you had in the account's gone. Well, what am I gonna do? Well, you can come, and what we'll do is we'll issue you some of the CBDC at a, you know, at a 2 to 1 ratio, or, you know, 1 to 3 ratio, but you got to come down to the center, get this chip. Okay, that's what you're gonna have to do.
Yep.
What are you gonna do?
See, unless you're the elites, man, you're not coming, you know, you're gonna get affected by this.
Yeah, so you got rich people and you got the elites. The elites are on a
Whole other level.
they don't the money don't matter to them because they own the source of everything.
Yeah, they got all the assets.
But you got people that are just rich. You know, they got the sweater on, you know, the ones with sweaters wrapped around them and all. They just got money, man, but they ain't in the know or nothing, man. Fuck them. They're gonna be in the same line with poor people, trust me.
Yep.
To get them food stamps, man. Go on up. So that's why it says rich and poor, free and pawn, the celebrities. I know a lot of you think these celebrities are in a different boat. They're not gonna be in a different boat. Because those celebrities, they had their purpose and their time. They're not really gonna be necessary. When ESO collapses in society, what the fuck you need a rapper for?
And you know, in these movies, was it 2012? And they built that arc in it for the man to go on it. But it weren't just anybody. It's always the top dudes or the people that they needed to rebuild in that, right? But singers, yeah, they don't need no.
They're gonna be left out there to dry, man. No one cares about them people.
Boxers, you know? And whatever.
Yeah, the fucking Floyd Mayweather and these guys. I made wise investments, yeah.
Sure.
We'll see what happens. See, Floyd's gonna be in the line.
Talking about MTBE.
It said small and great. So small represents your personal net worth, and great represents your stars. Now you're gonna have these top politicians. They're gonna get chipped, but then their chips gonna have extra rations on them. That's how it works. They're gonna have them special chips, and they show you that in there's a movie that they brought, Dark Water, I think it's called, on Netflix. And in that movie, there's a water shortage on Earth, and everyone has to have a chip. And you go to the water thing, and you might have a silver pass, and then it fills you a certain amount of water. But if you got the platinum one, you just get bare water. You got access to almost unlimited water, right? But that's how it's gonna be. Yeah? Certain men are gonna get that good chip.
Good one.
You will live good in the new world order, man. But everyone's gonna have to get it, man. The middle, why you think they're destroying the middle class? They're gonna have to take it. All right?
There you go.
Yeah, go on up.
Revelations 13 and 16 again says, and he calls all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond.
Right, them prisoners, they're gonna have to take it anyway.
Yeah,
They're in
there's no
prison
choice.
already. They're already here. They're gonna have to take it.
To receive a mark in their right hand or on their foreheads.
Right, the mark, the Karagma, which is the implantable RFID chip. Right? They might have different versions of it. We don't care. We're not gonna get bogged down on that. It's an implantable chip.
Yep.
And you're gonna have to have that chip. That's gonna be part of it, because the chip in itself is a ritual. Because remember, these people are witches and warlocks. The act of the penetration and the shedding of blood, that's a ritual. So it's not, see, these men don't just deal with, you know, the one side. They also deal with the spiritual antics. It's actually a ritual when you think about it. It's witchcraft, right? But the Lord is the one that put it in their heart to do it. And that's exactly how they're gonna do it. You're gonna have to go, you're gonna have to get that chip. And with that chip is gonna come, you're gonna have your new digital ID, your one digital ID, which will be able to access all databases and services. And then through that digital ID, you have your CBDC account, and your CBDC account through smart contracts, you'll be able to use that to purchase varying amounts of different services. And if you try and purchase a service beyond your ration, the transaction won't go through. Simple as that. That's how it's gonna be. Go to the supermarket, this is the amount of bread you can get, and guess what? They're gonna know your family size. Like, so when they did the lockdown in France, what people were doing was the husband would go in and buy, and you know they were saying you could buy like 2 loaves of bread, blah blah. So the husband would go in, husband would come back out, then the wife would go in after. So they were basically getting 2 families worth. You know, they're trying to game the system. So you know what they did in France? They started handing out a family permit. so they know, okay, you only one person in the family can go into the store to buy, so you couldn't send your wife in. But that's all going to be done digitally. That's why they have Facebook and all that, and you have to say who your relatives are, and all that information is going to be in the system, man, so that they can lock you down, so you can't play the system and send your daughter in to get extra rations, because it's going to add up through your family. Bro, this thing is serious, man, and that's why they're creating all these shortages. Because with that crisis, they then have to come in and say, yeah, we need to control this, we need to control that. These people are panic buying, these people are price gouging. All that means the government has to come in and control. Go on now. Now, why ain't RUIC and ICPK breaking it down for you? Because them niggas are sold out to the 501c3 charter, man. They're not allowed to give away the game. Because they're going to be part of the information source. That's why when you sign up to RUIC, you have to become a member. Any of these churches, it's not just RUIC, because they're 501c3, they have to get intel of they have to do a census. And in that census, that's why they say you need to give your government name. You need to give your government name, your details, if you own a gun, and that helps the government to collate information on you and your family. So you gonna tell them who your wives are, and they're gonna put you, you know, they're gonna help. In fact, they're probably gonna have a chipping station in your church, so that they can get the congregation. Okay, you know, we'll make it easy. We'll you know, you come to the church, you can get some rations at the church, you can get your chip at the church. Yep. That's why they need a building. Bro, that's how it works, man. You make it easier. Yeah, churches is a perfect place. People are used to it, they'll feel comfortable.
They trust the people there.
That's why they call it the clergy response team. And they'll also know any member of their congregation that can cause a potential problem for the government, and they have to report. And you know IUIC will, because they said they snitch. Yo, that brother there, he got a gun. Oh shit, you know? 6'9". You've been 6'9". Go on.
It's verse 17 says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or
Right.
the number of his name.
You're not going to be able to buy or sell because all of the resources now in society come through specific channels. It's not like before where there were so many different channels. They're starting to shut down farmers markets now, where you can't even go to the farmer and buy direct. So it's like everything comes through the lorry system, through the distribution center, and that distribution center will be for the whole state or whatever. It's the same thing in the UK. You got massive Tesco has massive distribution centers, and Asda has massive, and they'll be just outside the M25 or whatever on the motorway, and you drive past it, there's a bit of blood clot lorries, man, about 50 lorries just coming in and out all day, and they're moving the produce off to this Asda. And what they'll do is your little store will be cut off. Your little store, your little market store, because they shut down the markets during COVID. They could do that. So then now most of the food will be moved through a specific system. Asda, Tesco, if you're in America, Walmart, Whole Foods, your big distribution centers, they could do that. They could just say, listen, you distributors, you can't fulfill any orders for your mom and pop stores anymore. Any food you distribute has to go through this company, that company, that company, that company. So Asda gets all this, da 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 da. So then now, if you want to get access to that food, you're either gonna have to rob them trucks, which them trucks are gonna be guarded by the military. They started doing that in the UK during the lockdown as well, bringing in the military to guard the distribution centers, right? Or you're gonna have to go to that Asda and get food in the Asda. Now, when you go to that Asda, what they gonna have there? We don't take no cash, right? These are the prices. These are the amounts that you can buy. You need to provide your chip.
Well, with like the Amazon Go stores, right? I went to one recently, right?
Oh, yeah?
On lunch break.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You didn't take that chip.
Nah. You only need the app, you know. You only need the app, you know. But it's like you can't. I mean, there's a security guard there, you know. But there's barriers to get in. So the barriers don't open unless you got the app in it. So you got an account with them. But it'll be like this: you can't go in. And there ain't gonna be a security guard with no strap.
Actually, they are. They are gonna have military because
That's what I'm saying.
They are. Yeah,
I'm not saying the security guard ain't got no strap, but
Oh,
you're
yeah,
gonna have guys. Yeah, because they did
military.
it. They did it in France. I believe they did it in France. They had guys with guns stopping you going in. You know,
because you're gonna get gangs that are gonna wanna.
gonna roll.
Yeah, they're gonna want to roll up and play the system on. Well, that's why the scripture says there shall be sedition among men.
That's right.
Because there's gonna be people that's gonna try and hijack trucks
Yep,
and
yep,
all that kind of. Well, that's already happening now. So they're gonna have to have military escort to move food. But that's gonna happen. Yeah, go on. So
Yeah.
finish your point.
Yeah, so you know, say for you to get in, even get in the store, you're gonna have to meet these requirements, man. You're gonna have to have. Well, it won't be the app no more. It'll be what is in your hand, on your head. You know, for you to scan it and get in, to verify your identity, to verify that you're acceptable to come in it.
You're a citizen.
You know, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because none of this confusion. Esau ain't gonna deal with no confusion, man. You know, you better be on the record. You know
Man,
what I'm
come
saying?
up with no chip.
Yeah, get out of here.
Yeah, the nearest chipping station is. You need to go bring your
You
documents
can't be a
down.
customer service, innit? You gotta say, you gotta just gun butt, man. You gotta say, the nearest
Nah,
man.
fuck that, man. Gun butts is right, blood. Coming up here talking about granny, just hungry, black. Gun butt. Get your ass over there, granny. Bring your passport. You can get your new digital identity, and then
You get upgraded with your chip.
yeah, because that guy could be a terrorist. You don't know.
Yeah.
All because at the same time you're gonna have security issues as well. That's another reason they're gonna want to chip people, to make sure they know who you are, because they're gonna have terrorists running around and insurgents. Yeah, man, it's gonna be mad. And look, we're telling you in advance because we know through the spirit that's what they're gonna be doing, and they even put it in their movies exactly how it's gonna be. Soylent Green out here, man. You ain't gonna be able to buy or sell save he that had the mark, man. You ain't gonna be able to go certain places, go past certain checkpoints unless you have that clearance. And that clearance might come in the form of like an NFT. That's why one of the big things they brought out is this whole thing about NFTs. non-fungible tokens, but people think that NFTs are JPEGs. But then when you start listening to man like Brad Garlinghouse, they're like, look man, NFTs ain't or David Schwartz. NFTs, people think NFTs are all about stupid pictures on the blockchain. That's not really what it's for. NFTs is for creating certificates and passes, so that if you have this NFT, it can give you a pass to be able to certification to be able to go somewhere. So you go have checkpoints. A man shall not be able to enter a city, and maybe if you're a politician, you can do it, and then you can go past the checkpoint.
And maybe it's a one-time use, it gets burned.
Oh yeah, or you only get one. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
as soon as you use, man, you sure you ain't? Sure you ain't working with David and them, man? Right? That's how it's gonna be. So everything you do in society is gonna become a service, and permissioned, and that permission is gonna go through them smart contracts and the digital system.
Second Ezra 15.
The internet, all accessing the internet. The internet gonna be like that. Your social media accounts, they're all gonna be accessible like that.
Yeah.
All your phones are readers. I'm pretty sure your phone can read that shit. It's a two-way thing.
Yeah, I think it is, right?
You know?
But it reads QR codes and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, I'm sure your
I don't see
phone
why it
can
would be
read that
able to.
shit. So you have to. They would probably have an app where you know you got your Google account. They'll attach your new identity to your Google account. That's why they got all these fucking accounts where now I do it too. I sign up to a website. It will say do a sign in or just use your Google account. Man, use my Google account, man. I'll be honest with you. I'm not gonna fucking lie. I ain't got time to fucking sit there and put my name in So I just use my Google account, and it just automatically and it knows who I am, and then I can just do what I'm doing. So you can find that if you got Outlook or you got a Google account or a Facebook account, you can pretty much sign up to anything and not have to put any new information in, because it's like one interoperable account.
Yeah, integrated. Yeah.
Integrated. So that's how it's going to be with this new digital ID. You're going to be able to use that one ID for all the different apps and systems and
chip,
all that.
One chip to run them all.
To
man.
run them all, yeah.
Yeah.
Go on, now.
It's the book of Second Ezra 15 and the 14. Woe to the word and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and sword in their hands.
There's going to be more chaos, man. People are going to start losing it. People will become very tribalized. When the chaos ensues, that's one of the first things that's going to happen. You're going to have people that are going to bow down and kiss the ring, and you're going to have people that are going to be like, fuck this. We're going to roll together, and it's going to be what it's going to be. You're going to get group of Jake that are going to roll like that. You're going to get group of Edomites that are going to roll like that. Groups of different people that might decide, you know what, man, fuck the government.
Yeah, well, you know, these last couple of years have shown how people are getting disgruntled or disenchanted by their governments, man. You know, and that's only going to grow. You know, I mean, it's gone quiet now because they're not really reporting on these things anymore. But like, when the time comes, it will rise up again.
I'm mad. Even I was watching Children of Men last night, and they show you that you had certain men that was insurgent, and they had straps and that, and they were fighting against the government forces. That's gonna happen, man. And people are gonna get caught in the middle of that. Hey, it's gonna be a mad thing. You're gonna be caught in between the government forces and these men that are law unto themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
And you better hope that you don't find yourself bucking up and it's some Edomites, because you know, once they ain't got no laws, what they're gonna be dealing with is if they see you.
Wow, settings, man.
Because they gonna blame the downfall of America on the so-called black man. They gonna fuck your shit up, man. And ain't gonna be no rules. And that's what you're gonna find out. You see, it's very easy. This society has a veneer of rules, and a lot of people don't do things for fear of reprisal.
Yep.
Like, but real quick, you know what people are gonna realize? The police can't be everywhere at all the time.
Can't enforce them.
They can't. Listen, if you work in a certain industries, you see that, and the police know that. Like when they have a major, like even when they had the World Cup,
Yeah, yeah.
them fans realize that, hold on, there's a couple stewards and a couple police, and there's like 30,000 of us. Man, they just bust up the turnstile, beat up the fucking stewards, and went in there with no tickets. And there was an outrage, and it's like, but what are the police supposed to do? When you got 30,000 people and there's like 100 of you, what are you gonna do? Start shooting? Well,
Yeah, they could.
but what if so it comes a point where society relies on the vast majority of people deciding not to commit crimes or deciding to follow. Because if only 20% of the people decided, you know what, we're gonna do what the fuck we want to do, there ain't a 20% of the police. The police is a very small.
And that's nothing that's been, grinded down over
Yeah,
the years. The
defunding.
Defunding the ability to actually respond to things. They're struggling. Low paid, you know what I mean? They're just struggling hard, right?
And they're gonna struggle some more.
That's right.
So you're gonna get that where, yeah, the government are gonna control. What they're gonna be able to do is control certain cities and certain parts of cities, but they're not gonna be able to control everywhere. And so you're gonna have that dynamic going on, where you're gonna have parts of America and parts of England and parts of France that are basically gonna be no man's land, Mad Max era. Meaning anything goes in that area. And once that happens, that's when you're gonna get man raping women and they're gonna be doing all kind of madness, because at the end of the day, as far as they're concerned, the world's come to an end. There's no one here to
self-rule.
Yeah, like, well, if I rape this woman, I want to rape. The only reason I weren't raping women before is because I didn't want to get arrested. It wasn't because I was morally didn't want to rape. I wanted to rape this woman, but I couldn't because I might get arrested. Now it's like, well, there's nobody.
Yeah.
What's the worst that can happen? Or I blow someone's head off.
Man's acting like Benedict.
Benedict,
Last Action Hero,
So that's why it's gonna be madness in the earth, man.
And it's
and
what I
the
mean,
spirit's
people-
gonna have to be with you.
I see most people think like, there's people have morals, man. Not everybody has the same level of morals.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? So when that veil, that curtain of,
Civility.
law enforcement is gone, you know what I mean? They're free to do whatever they want to do, man.
Yep.
And that's how you get chaos. That's how you get anarchy.
Yep.
That's why you see on dystopian, post-apocalyptic movies, man. People just do what they want to do, man.
Well, not even, you ain't even got to go that far.
No, they ain't,
that
but-
happens certain places in the world right now.
Yeah,
where
right.
shit just go buck wild and people just start murking off people and bare gunshot, man. Rwanda style.
Yep.
Start chopping up people, like, And yesterday they were working in McDonald's. Today they just turned into a psycho killer, man.
Shit in both hands. Ain't flipping burgers no more, man.
Chopping people up, man.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Go on. The love of many shall wax cold, man.
Yep.
For the sword and their destruction draws nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and sword in their hand.
Guns, man, and the Lord has provided plenty of swords in the earth, especially in America. That's why America's a powder keg, because there's so many fucking guns. But the Lord wanted it to be like that. That's why America's gonna be a bloodbath,
Yep.
an absolute bloodbath. When the Lord really opens up, it's gonna be a madness. People are gonna wanna, the same way people are fleeing to get into America right now, there's gonna be people trying to get out of America, because it's just gonna go to hell. Especially in cities like LA. LA is a mad town. LA is fucking almost on a lawless place right now, normal times. Imagine all hell breaking loose in somewhere like LA, overpopulated with just bare madman with straps.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a mad thing, man.
My man's trying to get out, man, but they can't get cancelled.
People are gonna be trying to get to Mexico.
yeah. The irony.
The irony is true. They're gonna be trying to flee across the border thinking maybe it'd be better in Canada. But Canada's gonna be madness too.
Yep.
Society's gonna break down, but America's gonna be bad because there's special demons in that place. You already see it with all these shootings and that. Some real demonic individuals, man, on meds and TV, hooked off meds and TV, just mad out their head skulls, man. Yeah, man, it's gonna be crazy, boy. Fighting for water and food. Go on,
For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another.
Right, so you're gonna get people from one area and they're gonna decide, well, we ain't got no food around here, and a lot of that's gonna be class too, because you'll find in most cities there's been this class thing, right? Like certain places in London, you have the buttery, like on this side of the road, pure roadman and ghetto, like Hackney's like that. In Hackney, you like on one side of the road, brother, is like the gets, pure estates, pure grimy niggas and grimy crackers on some real crud. And then on the other side of the road, them man are sipping lattes and hi everyone.
Yeah, £1 million
You know,
houses and shit.
£1 million houses, buttery as you fucking like. And they right next to each other or on a different side of the canal. Now when these grimy ass dudes run out of food, they gonna come together and be like, hold on, these rich motherfuckers over here,
They got shit.
they must have some food in their houses. So they gonna roll up in there, man. So you're gonna get that class issue going on too. Yeah, so them man better strap up. And when them man let loose, they're already mad people already.
Or like Purge, man. You know?
Helter Skelter, or what was that? Clockwork Orange and that. Or the Purge, yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna be hunting man down, man. You know, because they know the neighborhood, man. They know who's got shit.
Running
You
man
know?
down in his sweater,
yeah.
in his Clarks.
Yeah, man.
They run up in the fridge and it's just gonna be gluten free, blood. Like, what the fuck is this, man?
Stuff, man.
Where's the real food? Look at the gluten free crap and all that shit, man. All that Beyond Meat in the fridge.
Yeah.
Fuck, you know what I mean?
Man, there's soil in the cupboard as well.
Sit there, soy. Better get a gunshot just for that, man. What the fuck, man? Where your steak at? Good, yeah, but that's true, and I'm sure it's the same in a lot of cities. You have that dynamic where you have a more affluent part right next to the gets.
Yeah.
So that's gonna happen too. You're gonna get people marauding from one area into another and doing madness.
It's like, you know, they're in the process of gentrification, man. You know, they
Yeah.
make one place, one side of it nice, the other side ain't developed tonight. You still got them old man, you know.
Or
still
LA
there.
or Beverly Hills, they're gonna be running up into them mansions in Beverly Hills. That's why a lot of them have got safe houses, and they're gonna burn down your house with that safe house in it, man.
Yep, yep.
That safe house, that safe room is gonna become like an oven.
Yep.
You're gonna get cooked in there like some chicken.
Crematory, man.
They shall not regard their kings nor princes,
Your bodyguard has set you up.
Yep.
They don't regard their king. They don't fuck the police, fuck the politicians.
Yep.
and the cause of their action, and the cause of their action shall stand in their power.
So meaning certain places, they're gonna have the upper hand, and they know that. That's why you go into the what's that thing called again? They had in America, the King.
King Alfred.
Is it King Alfred plan?
Yeah.
When you read the King Alfred plan,
Same
they,
with Rex 84
it tells
and-
Rex
yeah.
84. It tells you in there that they already know that there's certain areas that they're not going to be able to control. So what they'll do is they'll cordon that area off, and then let you motherfuckers kill each other, and then control the area like that, and then they'll go in and take out bits at a time. It's called, that military strategy is called cordon and control, because you can't always occupy an entire area at once. You got to take little bits of it and squeeze it, kind of like what Russia was doing in Ukraine. Surround it and take a couple areas and squeeze it. But in the meantime, that area that they have, they're in control of that area. Yeah, what's that? Oh, there was another game like that. There was a game like that where you had the part of the city that was controlled by the government, and then there was another part of the city that was.
The Division.
That's the one. The
Tom
Division.
Clancy's Division or something.
I think it was Division, and then you had to go in to that zone and get resources. Yeah. Then they show you that in that game. That's how it's gonna be. Yeah, it's mad.
But these are common war tactics the man that go to Afghanistan with or whatever. You know, it's how they slowly take control of areas, isn't it?
Like bomb your area up, soften it up.
Yeah.
Soften it up with a few shell rounds. Yeah, man. And that's why when they come into the area, they're gonna come in hot, and everyone's gonna be a target.
But they've been collecting hollow tip bullets. They've been collecting all kinds of ammunitions, man. For this
They're gonna send
warfare.
drones,
Yep.
killer drones through, murk you up from the sky.
Yep.
It's gonna be sinister, man. That's what what's his name was all about. Jade Helm, was it 15? Jade Helm 15, mastering the human domain, and that was them basically preparing to use AI and drones to administer the urban warfare. But they you know, they kind of know how you Jake think, man. So they gonna calculate plans for you. Go on.
A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
That's right. You might have been outside the city on a business trip, because this thing could happen. When thing goes wrong, there's always people that are in the wrong place. Yeah, like you could be out of town on some business. So you were in LA, and your family's in Minnesota. You just went for whatever reason, and if all hell breaks loose at that moment in time, and they shut down the air traffic, and then on the I-95, because the motorway system is designed to be controlled anyway, they're military systems. The motorway systems are designed by the military in order to distribute military hardware and control certain key positions. So you won't be able to get back to Minnesota or whatever. Your family's over there, you're here, you can't stay there. You can't get there where they at. They'll be like, no, sorry, we're not allowing any travel at this point. But my family, well, you're gonna have to find some other way. And you're gonna be like a movie trying to get there, trust me. And it ain't gonna be the type of movie where you will make it to the credits. Yeah, it's gonna be madness. So some men are gonna be like that. They're gonna be separated from their family, separated from, you know, what they know. They had all the prepping done, but they ain't got nothing with them.
No phone call as well.
No, might not get the phone calls.
The communication is gonna be down as well.
Damn, oh, you down bad. Yeah, some people are gonna be, or you might just be out of town, just outside of the city. You drive to get back into the city. Oh, my family's in there. Man are there with the big strap, like, listen, turn around. Nobody's coming in and out right now till we get the situation under control. Your peak, your wife right now is getting spread eagle by a bunch of goons, man. That's that. You just got to call that, charge that to the game. Good.
For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled.
Right, these cities are gonna become places that you ain't gonna wanna be. They're gonna be filled with fear, screaming, howling, mourning, stench, the stink, you know, rolling blackouts, garbage all over the place, dead bodies, burnings, buildings getting destroyed. No more lattes, and Starbucks ain't gonna be open in the morning for you to get your coffee. Your Costa coffee and your Starbucks and your Pret a Manger with your £5 sandwiches. Yeah, you're gonna be actually scared to be on the streets at all times, because death could come at any moment, especially in certain areas. It's gonna be a mad thing. Women are gonna be moving like the prey animals that they are, so they're gonna be moving along the, you know, like a mouse. A mouse don't walk out in the open because they're prey. If you know how a mouse operates, they like to travel along the edges, the skirting boards. They rarely would come out into the open because they're fucking prey. But that's how these women are gonna be in these cities. And then there's a bin over there, and you see, man. You know what I mean? Because they come out in the open, there's motherfucking eyes looking, man. Yo,
The hills of ice.
yeah, you got to move circumspect, man. It's gonna be spooky, especially when it gets to night time.
You ain't gonna be out then.
It's gonna be spooky.
You better find yourself a hole. You know?
Yeah, that's the pride gone. Oh, I love London. Oh, listen, you ain't gonna love London in that day.
Terrified.
Oh, New York, I'm proud of you. Listen, you ain't gonna be proud of New York. Because of their pride, the cities are gonna be brought low.
Yep.
Stinking. The stench of death is gonna be in the air, man. That's what's gonna happen. Time of Jacob's trouble.
Yep.
Go on, huh? You might hear next door getting murdered.
Yeah, screams. Yeah, the screams
and your bitch ass ain't gonna go and help because you thought you were brave. You ain't that brave.
gunshots.
You know, that's gonna be trying to be quiet and shit. Hey, the scripture says grown men are gonna be as women in that day, man. A lot of these men that are bare acting like they're super fucking macho men. A lot of them men you're gonna find out they're pussies. But then you're gonna have certain men that man thought they were quiet and they weren't about nothing. They're moving around here like animals, man. That's how it be sometimes. Sometimes the people you least expect, them are the man that stand up in the time of peril. And the man you thought that were the real guys, them are the man hiding in bins and shitting themselves, man.
Well, if that's what men are getting reduced to, these women are going to be reduced to like children or worse. You know?
Oh yeah, that's the reality.
Yeah.
All that feminism that they've been filling themselves with is gonna go straight out the fucking window. Because women are, like I said, women naturally are prey. They're prey animals. They're like deer or horses. Their nature is to be a prey, like a rabbit. That's what women are like naturally. That's their heart. You know, you ever been with your woman and a firework go off unannounced? They fucking start jumping on it. You like, you just calmly turn around and look. Oh, okay.
What's that? Okay.
She's jumping around. Ah! It's like, it was a firework, man. Calm the fuck down. They naturally got that skittish prey attitude, man. So how much more say when they hear these screams and the what's going on, man? They're gonna be shitting themselves, man. And rightfully so.
The houses shall be
These
destroyed.
women be out, it's lucky, man. These women be out like 3 a.m. in the morning walking around.
Reckless.
Listen,
They careless women are at ease.
you ain't gonna be like that when all hell breaks loose. Tell you that for free.
We're in skimpiness, man.
Oh, they ain't gonna be
They ain't
wanting to be.
doing all that,
They ain't gonna
man.
want to be bringing it. See, they're gonna want to bring attention to themselves in that day.
Yep. That's funny, isn't it? Because they want all the attention now.
Nah, they ain't gonna want to get the
all
attention.
the attention they want.
They're gonna want to be invisible in that day.
Yep.
Mrs. Invisible.
Yep. Invisible man.
Take away yourself. Go on, huh?
Yep.
The house shall be destroyed, and the men shall be afraid.
Man, even the men are gonna be afraid, man, because it's serious times. A lot of people are not used to that kind of life or death situation, man, especially in the West. The majority of people, especially when it's a life or death situation that's not gonna end. Like, it's gonna be an ordeal that's gonna be you're gonna be in a constant state of stress. People are not used to that. People are not used to that at all, man. They're used to, like, most of these people in the West, they live a life where them things, something they see on TV. You know, even these people in the ghetto, most people are not really under that, unless you're a real bad boy and you really, got people after you, so you can't, most people are not really watching their back like that.
Yeah.
They let their guard down. In time to come, you ain't gonna be able to let the guard down. You're gonna be under stress, wondering where your next meal is coming from. Them things there. It's gonna be scary, man. Spooky times. Every sound that makes, you gotta pay attention to it. Most people don't live like that, but they will have to in the time to come. Trying to shut your children up. Shh, shh.
Suffocating the child.
God, oh man.
A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor.
Right. Men are gonna be cold. They ain't gonna have no pity on their neighbor, man. Like I said, they be moving through. When they get hungry and they gotta feed their family, and if they can't get access to food one way, they're gonna find another way. And if you're happen to be the one that's got food, they're gonna feel no way to bust your head and to bust your family's heads and take your food.
Yep.
To feed their family, man. Desperate times call for desperate measures, man. No pity. No, I've got a family. I don't care about your family. They care about their family.
Hey, we've all got families.
Yeah, I was watching one The Dark Winter or whatever, man. It's like a zombie thing.
Yeah.
And there's a funny scene where the woman a woman comes, she's in the car with a dude and they're driving up, and then this fucking other woman comes with a baby. And she's like, help me, can you let me in? And this, that, and the other, like. And then the guy's like, nah, just keep driving. You can't help her. And he says, but she's got a baby and all this, that, yeah. And then so she stops, right? Lets the woman in the car. The woman pulls out a fucking gun, tells them to get out the car. Yeah. And he's like, see? And then then her boyfriend comes, jumps in the other side. They took the car and drove off. The man's like, yeah, man, that's how it's gonna be, man. It's gonna be cutthroat, man. People ain't gonna,
Yeah, that helpless woman act.
It's that good Samaritan thing ain't gonna be running in that day.
No.
Going up.
But shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread.
Because there's going to be a lack of bread. That's coming. And this building, you see the situation in Ukraine, the lack of the fertilizer, we've been documenting it, man. The famine is building, it's brewing. You know what I'm saying? Everything's happening right now, and everything's getting worse. Petrol prices are getting worse, everything's getting worse, man.
Yeah.
It ain't, since the lockdowns, it's actually progressively got worse. It's not gotten better. And everything that's happening is like adding fuel to the fire, man. And there will be a day where people are going to be desperate for food. Now, the average person out here if they understood that, what do you think would happen? If the average person understood what we understood, you know what would be happening at Asda right now? If they knew, okay, in 2-3 weeks time or 6 months time, there ain't gonna be no food. Man, I'll be in Asda right now, just supermarket sweep.
Cleaning the shelves,
You know? Bit of toilet paper. But most people don't know that. They just think, oh, price is going up, but someone's gonna fix it, it's gonna be alright. No, we know according to the scriptures that there is gonna come a time where that lack of bread is gonna make shit tight. It's gonna make shit real tight out here. People are gonna be under stress.
Turn people.
Yeah, they're gonna turn into vampires and zombies. That's what them zombie films are all about. Hungry people chasing people down. And you know, when you're hungry, you can smell food, I think like 3, 4, 5 miles away. You can smell someone cooking food, because the hungrier you get, it heightens your senses like a dog. You can smell food in the air. That's why in them situations, cooking ain't a good idea. Because you're just gonna attract the zombies, man. Then you have people knocking on your door, like, especially if you're cooking up that good shit.
Just eat your beans cold, innit?
Eat it cold, man, because people be knocking on your door. They can smell that you got food next door. And they start coming with their children. Oh, please, sir. You're like, oh, we ain't got nothing, and they can blatantly smell, and they're gonna get angry. They're gonna get angry. I'm like, what the fuck? Another thing, you're gonna have family coming from one place to another if they can. In the early stages, they might be able to do that. They might come from where they are over there and come to your house talking about how they wanna.
Family, man. Family.
Mans ain't talk to you in about 5 years, turn up at your door like with their nappy-headed kids. Oh man. Oh man. God. Hey, listen, I'm taking my neighbors out clean. Fuck them crackers, man.
Because of the
I
lack
can't
of
wait, man. I can't wait. We're gonna fucking deal with these. Empty out the road, man. I hate living next to crackers, man. I hate you crackers, man. I've always had to live next to crackers. And they're always devils. They've always got this weird fucking vibration. I just can't wait till they're not around me no more.
Sticks up the ass.
So we pray for some depopulation going on down here. Yeah, they lighten up the neighborhood. That's what I would like. Going on. Burn some houses.
because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation.
Lack of bread and great tribulation. Like I said, people are gonna be struggling for like, crack. All these crackheads ain't gonna have no crack. So they're gonna be bugging, man. People are gonna be going cold turkey on the streets. Living mad. Oh. Robbing pharmacies. They show you that in the zombie film. Till the troops turn up, have to start shooting them.
Yeah. Just get out like cockroaches.
Go on up.
Alright, yeah, you finish it. 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 17. It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days?
Right, it's gonna be mad. That's why the Lord has to be with you. It's gonna be like a movie. You gotta have plot armor.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to have that plot armor, man. The Lord's plot better be with you in that day. Otherwise, yeah, you're done. You're finished. Too much death. It's gonna be so much peril. People they're not gonna believe it. Like, you know, one thing in them zombie films, right? They show you, because them zombie films, they put a lot of thought into it. It's like if you see someone that you know, like if you meet someone and then you meet them again in like 8 weeks or something, it's like, wow, yeah, you still alive? Them ones, like now, if you see someone, you meet them even 10 years later, you're like, oh, what's going on? Like, yeah, how you been? Because it's like, it's cool.
Yeah.
But in them zombie films, it's like you don't
Surprise.
expect if you leave someone, you don't expect to see them again.
Yeah.
Because it's that peak. That's how peak is gonna be. As if the scripture says, as if a man ran from a bear or a lion, and then he went in the house and he leaned. Because what that represents is
Peril.
death is and peril is going to be around every corner. So you might escape death here and run into death here, and escape it again, but then run into it here. You know?
Yeah, always being confronted with death.
Yeah, boy.
Yep.
Death is going to be everywhere, man.
Verse 18 says, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment.
And war is terrible, man.
Nasty.
War is terrible, man. Like when them men are especially because it's so loud as well, and the death comes so abrupt and ignorant, man. When men are clapping off them big straps and there's bullets flying through walls, you can't even see where the bullet came from. Just clapped through and the next man's head exploded. Or your child got clapped in two by some random strap that came through the window. And don't forget, World War III is gonna happen. So with that's gonna come missiles and all kind of shit flying in and destroying buildings. And man, that's crazy, man. War, you see them videos, you're like, raw, this is terrible, man. That's scary. Like you just there in your house, you don't know if the next missile is gonna hit your house. That's every time a bomb goes off, you're angry because you don't know. Or every time a gun pops off, you don't know whether. I remember there was one video though, they had a woman sniper, and she was busting up sniping, right? And then she stuck her head up to snipe, and it was a boom. A bullet literally just clapped the wall, and she sat down and she started laughing because she was shitting herself so much. And then you know she was shook to stick her head back up there again, blood. Come on, man.
You might not see, bro.
That shit's spooky, blood. It's not like you don't even have a chance, blood. It's either it hit you or it don't. You don't know. You just don't know.
And then putting out them things at the top.
Blood, man's coming at you with rifles. That's spooky, man. All so them wars are gonna be, you know, it's gonna be terrible. It's gonna be spooky. That destructive power that's gonna be unleashed as well. So. It's a lot of terrible things coming down the pipeline, man. War is just not nice. It's not nice at all, man. People get ripped to shreds, 50 caliber rounds, tearing off arms and legs. Wow. Go on.
Verse 20, right? It says, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. Well, you can't say that anymore. We're coming out at that point.
Right, yeah. The
You know
price
what I mean?
of everything's going up and up and up.
Yeah.
And then you got certain places where they were like already on the edge with the food prices. So much. There are places in the world where they're not like they're on a level where so much of their money goes into feeding their family. So an increase in price by
In
like
the house,
20%.
in the car, it's
Man,
all going up, right? Ain't just one thing, ain't just your heating. You know what I'm saying? It's your food, it's your heating, your petrol, your fuel, right? It's all going up. How and you got middle class people going to food banks.
yeah,
the
yeah,
food banks
yeah.
can't even keep up.
They can't. There's too many people. Even down in Barking, there's just more and more crackheads, and they all go to the food bank.
For chips now, 350, 350.
But you wings and chips?
Yeah, bro. It's
Nah,
mad.
that's
Bro,
violation.
free wing. Even in Barking, it's $1.99 for like fucking free wings and chips. It used to be 99p when we was back in school.
Yeah,
Standard.
yeah, wings and chips.
To get a man's meal now is minimum £5. Minimum £5 to get a meal. And that's in our ends. That's not even when you're starting going into more central areas and that. So come on, man. Food gone up, man. But like I said, there's some places in the world they're gonna already start rioting and going crazy because them people were already on a level where all their money was already going on food. So now the prices of wheat is going up. That means the price of bread goes up. Now you're gonna have people that basically can't afford to eat. So what are you gonna do?
That's right.
You gotta act wild. Sri Lanka, they got, you know. Mad thing.
Behold, victory shall be so good cheat upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion.
And you see that Ukraine and all that. Who would have known that issue in Ukraine was gonna pop up?
Yeah.
but it did.
And the effect it was gonna have.
Oh man.
You know, everyone was worried about nuclear war, but what about everything else?
And these men haven't agreed, so they were meant to agree, which shows you it's all pre-planned. A way for the wheat
To come through.
to be able to come
Yeah.
out, and then I think the
Got rejected.
Ukrainians said like, nah, well, if you don't give us certain thing, we're not gonna let it out. And then slowly but surely, all the different exporter nations are like, well, we ain't gonna sell no wheat then. We need it for our people. And remember, China was already trying to buy up wheat from long ago. Australia already banned exports like 3 years ago. So a lot of the exporters are becoming importers, and they're banning exports. So things are going from bad to worse, man. You know,
Yep.
diesel prices are going through the roof. So the logistics is going to get tighter and tighter and tighter. And eventually the government is going to have to step in and probably start running the trucks off the government budget. Like military or something, gonna have to start running the trucks because the normal truck drivers can't, like we can't afford it.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and even the cargo on the ships. You know,
They still got the shipping backlog.
Yep.
Oh man.
That's costing peas as well now. Well, that has been costing peas. It's getting worse. Alright, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down.
So all these cities around the world are gonna be in a bad way, man. They're gonna be in a real bad way. You know, but it's the judgment of the Lord. It's the end of this world. That's how it's gonna have to go out.
Yep.
It's gonna go out in fire and blood and destruction, man.
That's right.
Terrible. But there's gonna be a new world to come. It's gonna be rebuilt, except for America. The world is gonna be rebuilt, beginning with Jerusalem. Because Israel is gonna be built out first. You know, as the beacon in the center of the earth.
Yep. I just wanted to jump down here to verse 37, right? It says, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringing forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains come past her womb, which pains when the child coming forth, they slack not a moment. And this fight, things is happening quickly, man. Okay, we just come off the back of one thing, now we're straight into another one, man. It's not like a long time between things like it used to be. You know? There's no rest, right? And it's the same thing with women's getting closer to giving birth, man. There's no rest for her,
And she can't control
can't
them
control
pains either. They just
Yeah.
start happening, man.
Yep.
It's involuntary. The Lord's got a timeline, innit?
That's right. So as when a woman with a child in the 9th month bringing forth her son with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains come past her womb, which pains when the child coming forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall the plagues be slack. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn. Right, and that's definitely where this world's going into right now, mourning. You know, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side.
Sorrows, man. Boy and spread. Boy. That's how them man are gonna be singing, man.
Yep.
It's already started, man. You know, you got over here, you got the industrial. Did you hear about the strikes coming up on the 26th?
21st, 23rd. It's 3 days, isn't it?
But I heard say everyone's striking, man. Fucking
yeah.
National Rail striking, Underground striking,
That's gonna fuck up everything
fucking
as well.
unions. So the buses are gonna be striking. I've never
that's
heard
right.
nothing. I've
No,
never
no,
heard
me
nothing
neither.
like that. Like
No.
it's a serious
Apparently,
strike.
apparently not since 1989, something like this has happened.
Bomba
Apparently. So
Yo,
that's gonna be a big thing when that day comes.
mad thing, yo.
Yeah.
Whee!
So they fuck up shit.
Mad. Yo, things are moving.
Because not only that, like they're not, because it's the nationwide thing. It's not just passenger shit that goes on, right? Because they take freights as well, right?
So the freight as well?
Yeah.
Bomba
So
clock.
if they're not running,
Yo,
they're not running.
it's gonna be mad.
You know, so that's gonna have its impact as well.
Hey,
So we'll
hey.
see. We'll see. Maybe the government will back down or the company will back down or whatever. But
I don't know. Go on, like, I don't think so.
why would you know?
It's gonna be more chaos,
Because
man.
this is the thing. Like no matter how you slice it, this is how it's meant to go, right? It's meant to get worse. So you know, maybe nothing will happen. Maybe these strikes will happen, and then more shit gets fucked up. 'Cause that's how it's supposed to work. So you know,
Build back better, yeah.
yeah, man.
Yo,
You know?
it's a
Hey,
mad.
but don't worry, Boris is still in power.
But how is this guy still in power, blood? But
I
the
know.
bomb, bro, this
I
guy,
know, I
it's
know.
all. That's
I
how
know.
that shows you it's all a show.
Yeah.
How could this guy be holding on to power still
Yeah,
after
yeah,
all
yeah.
the violations this man's done?
Yeah.
This guy got to be the worst politician in ever,
Boris-
like in history.
Boris said save us all, man.
This guy lies, like, oh my goodness, man. And they're making a show out of just firing the guy. Just fire the guy already. If it was me in my job, I would have been fired like 5 years ago, bro. This guy is an absolute he's committed crimes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Against humanity.
Hey, this is mad. But that's how it's gonna be. You know, and maybe he's stalling retiring because he's got a nice little crisis to come down the pipeline that's gonna get everybody in order. You never know.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, we'll finish up on this scripture.
This is the book of Zephaniah 1 and 8, 14. The great day of the Lord is near. It is near, and the estate greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord, if the mighty man shall cry their victory.
Right, that day of the Lord is when that thermonuclear. You see, we're just men, man. The baseline that comes off, listen, like I said, yeah, I watch videos with these guns, right? Bro, these guns are fucking terrible. Like the HK bomber, when them man are knocking off the HK bomber, blood. If man's coming your area and start popping off that bomber, blood, it sounds mad. But you know how mad it is when missiles are exploding? How terrible it is. Boom!
Shock and awe, them Iraqis.
Now imagine a nuclear bomb exploding. How terrible that event is. Big flash of light and it's so loud it busts your eardrum and now imagine the Lord is going to pelt America with that plus spiritual fire. Man, that's terrible, man. The whole earth shaking.
100 million.
Oh my goodness, man. A man can't stand before that. A man, oh, it's nothing. No, every man have to, oh.
The elements, they're gonna melt like forever in heat, man.
Bro, it's terrible.
You know?
And that day hasteth, meaning it's coming quick upon the earth, man. But the Lord's gonna get his respect in that day because everyone's gonna be humbled.
Yep.
Everyone's gonna be humbled by this great event. It's too terrible. It's just too much. A whole country getting obliterated like that, man. And the whole earth shaking. Chariots all over the place, blazing lit. Oh, man.
Yep.
Different time. As a man, you just gonna have to. You're gonna lose strength in your legs. Your bowels is gonna be moving. If you weren't so starving, you'd be emptying your bowels, man. No doubt, but there ain't nothing to empty. It's too terrible, man. That's why the Lord is to be feared, man, because He gonna cause a terrible event to happen on earth, man. And every man is gonna be humbled by that event. No man shall stand proud in that day. Every man shall know fear. You best believe when the earth is shaking like that, with a terrible sound. Sure, man. Even enough of you man think you're a bad man, like you man gonna be crying, bro. You definitely be prostrating in that day. Listen, it's a terrible day, man. And it's close, it's real close.
Yeah, the king of terrors, man.
The Lord is awesome. What terrible majesty. The Lord ain't gonna be faced. That's a little thing for the Lord. The Lord could destroy the whole planet. Boom, the whole planet just gone. Terrible.
Squeeze it one time.
We're the ones that's gonna be in awe. The Lord ain't in awe of his own work. It's nothing, it's light work.
Yeah. It's all powerful, man.
Nah, boy. That's why you better repent now, because when the things that we're talking about actually happen, it's too late, man. And you don't wanna be caught out here, because the Most High is terrible, man, and there's a million ways to die, and there's a million ways the Lord could torture you before you die.
Yep.
The Lord can make it where you want the death to come, and then when the death to come, you realize you didn't want it because it's terrible. It's mad. The Lord is terrible, man.
Yep.
You're gonna see things that a man wish he never did see, man. Terrible, live. Smell it, direct. It's different.
Again, you know, Daniel 12:1. Time like no other, man. Nothing's gonna compare to what this world is about to go through. You know?
Ain't gonna be no playground time, boy.
No.
Go on, bro.
That day is the day of love, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and goodness, a day of clouds and thick darkness.
Hey, you know when you get ash and all that, you know it causes lightning. I remember like when you used to get the when you get volcanic explosions, the particles start lightning and thunder. Hey, man. Terrible, terrible.
Beautiful, but terrible.
Awesome.
Yeah.
A day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord, and their blood shall be poured out of as dust, and their flesh as the dung.
Yeah, boy.
You know, dust everywhere, right?
Blood
Everywhere.
blood like water, you know. Like when it rains, you know. So yeah, man, we're gonna close up on that, man. But yeah, the final prophecies are loading up quick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're loading up like they're moving on that new super broadband, man. The way that super optical, the way them things are loading up, man. High bitrate, man. The way these things are loading. So you have to stay locked in, stay in the spirit. You know, keep walking that path because it ain't long now. Trust me, it's just not long. So many things are happening that weren't happening 10 years ago, 20 years ago. It's happening fast. We're seeing the prophecies come to pass, man.
Yeah.
You know, and if you don't know, you better get to know. It's not the onus is on you. The onus ain't on us. We already know. It's for you that don't know. You gotta show urgency now, and not take this thing for a game. You know, this scripture says, seek out your own salvation with fear and trembling, man. You better get this thing, you know, because you don't get it. The scripture says our blood is washed off our hands, man, because we tried to give it. We tried to warn you and let you know what was what. You wanted to play games and watch Love Island. But Love Island ain't gonna help you in that day to come. You know, hey, I was talking to my woman last night. I was saying, what if all hell break loose and them motherfuckers were still on the island? They'll be fucked, like them two Jakes will just tear the rest of them man up, like. Have them man in slavery already. Right, man. So with that, we say, Khan Allah, Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Chakadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and honors to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways, teaching this word in all sincerity and truth. Shalom to you brothers and sisters listening and learning and supporting the ministry. Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom.